GBGPY is on its way bearish over here pretty fast. I think it should. I think it should continue moving bearish over here now. Let's take a look here. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, this is perfect, man. Had some sells in GJ. Had some sells GJ. I just got out of the sells. This is like way before. This was too easy. I mean, this was the support created yesterday. You know, price broke down. Once it broke below the low at like 134, 522, then that was it. Just coming straight down. These bearish plays, I think, are going to be the only plays here. Welcome, welcome, the Gulag. The Gulag is in at full steam. Yeah, let's take a look on the daily here. Daily is coming down now. We're moving bearish. Weekly candle, this makes sense now. So if we do some clean analysis on the weekly, this is a fake out now. I think next week we're gonna continue moving bearish. So this whole area, this becomes a fake out on the higher time frame, because you had resistance, broke out, came back in, retest, kind of like creating like a resistance here as well to continue moving bearish. So I think that's a pretty good analysis to have right now. I mean, technically it just makes sense. If you look on the daily will basically need to break this minor support at 134 for it to continue moving bearish. So if you look on the daily, this is the strong support here which needs to break 134 to ultimately then continue going bearish. But for now, I think the 4-hour is continuing bearish. We have a stronger support at 134.221. I mean, if you're in the sells, that's pretty good. You know, I closed my trades when it came down to this area here. I had sells from earlier on. 306. Someone said 306 we are in. Oh, nice. 306. Yeah, I think you got some more room for price to continue down. New follower from the UK, first time watching you live, have to learn a few things. Well, one thing you're gonna learn is that if you have wicks here to the left, these wicks, they become destinations. When did you enter cells? My cells were around 134, 482. 134, 482. I also had cells from last night around 134, 721, but I closed them early, like around 604 when price was right over here. So they ran all the way down overnight, came up when price came over here. When I saw this bullish candle, woke up early in the morning and I saw it kind of like retracing. I was like, yeah, I don't know. What if it comes back in the range? Because essentially it did close above this area here. So that's where I closed it. But once price started to come down again, I was like, okay, you know what? This makes sense now to continue go back down to retest below. Are you in some trades right now? Nothing. It's Friday. It's Friday today. We're gonna have a guest today, so I think it's gonna be a pretty good day. New man from Doha, Qatar. Oh, nice. We have people from Qatar. Pop out chat. Um, let's see here what we can do. I need to put up an announcement. The announcement is gonna be. Oh. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This chart, price made a low and found support during the London session, came up, created resistance on the 15 minute, took an entry. As the next low was broken, closed, made decision to close half, trade in a loss, close bearish. Oh, nice. I was thinking about the partial loss and closed half trade as soon as it cleared the loss from the partial close. Oh yeah, see at this point you should have held the trade. Because the point of closing a partial position, so let's say like you close a partial position in a loss and you were letting the rest run. The whole point of letting the rest run is basically so that it can get you the move you wanted, right? So I think that's good. You know, it's like a learning thing, so that's good. Close the other half of trade at 13 pips. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good trade. Pretty good trade. I think it should continue moving bearish here. Gotta let those Gotta let those lights in. Yeah, because now on the 15 minute, when you look, it's created like a minor resistance here as well to possibly, you know, continue going bearish. So I think it's gonna continue moving. Continue moving down. Gotta set this thing up over here. There we go. Perfect. Um, I'm in gold. I was in since yesterday. I got in. Oh, nice. Someone's in gold trade here. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the Forex factory. And then let's take a look at, okay, so we got nothing. We got some CAD news. We got like, you know, USD. So yellow means they're like very, very small news. Like it shouldn't really move the market a lot. So let's take a look at pre-markets here. Looking at pre-markets, we're up by 20 points. I don't think that's a significant number. And oh wow, man, look at that. Gold is on its way over here. Gold is continuing the trend bullish after really good retail sales yesterday. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is 30-minute GJ. Creating support, sells once the bottom is broken, clean traffic on the left. Okay, perfect. So let's say you're in this trade right here, right? You're in this trade as price broke the low, so now you're in the trade, you have a stop loss. Now, once the 15 minute, I mean, if I'd be in this trade and if I'm seeing that, okay, if the 15 minute starts to go bullish or maybe starts to like, you know, show some bullish faces at that point, I'd want to close like, let's say 50% of my position, right? Because then I could say, well, okay, if it's going bullish, maybe it's rejecting this area now and maybe it won't continue down. You know, that's the thing. But it closes bearish. As long as it closes bearish, you have higher probability that price is going to continue moving below this area and then come down to the overall 1 hour support around, you know, 134, 200. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind, you know, as you see candles closing. So you're making sure the candles are closing in your direction. So yeah, let's take a look at US30 over here with the pre-markets. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we're bullish. We're a little bit bullish here. Looking out on the 1 hour time frame, we're approaching some sort of a resistance on US30 right here. Um, what's this? This is, would you consider 30-minute higher low as well as weak body candle? Yeah, so you'd basically want to see 30-minute, like if the 30-minute candle makes no wick over here, if it doesn't even like make a top wick, and if it closes bearish, I think it still has room to continue down, but then your risk becomes lower, right? Because at that point, what you're looking at is you're looking at this high being respected by the next candle, which would mean the high on the 15-minute candle, right? But if it's not respected, if you're already in sells, then I guess at that point you'll have to really manage your sells and really like manage risk basically. Will you be talk about FTMO? Oh no, no, not really. Yeah, let's take a look at here gold. Yeah, gold. It's before we start talking about 1810 on gold, you need to understand that gold is approaching a support level, right? 1804 is a very important level because if you can look left, you can see that the 4-hour candles were rejecting 1804 before. So we're approaching this area again now, especially on the 1 hour. So I think it's a Friday. Like a lot of people had really good weeks. I know I had a good week. Some people had like bad weeks. And if you had losses this week, I think the best thing to do is to try not to trade or try not to like make back those losses because it's basically not going to work. If you think you're going to make back your losses on a Friday, it's not happening. It's going to be a very lonely and dark road on a Friday if you do that. So I think the best thing would be to do is to just call it a day, look at your charts, or maybe like stick around here for the guest and yeah, have like a fun, stress-free Friday. Who is the guest? We're having the people from Funding Talent as guests. They are the same guys who run Forex Tips. We have Forex Tips running here, and then they run Funding Talent. So this is a funding firm, proprietary firm. So we're going to talk about that. So we're going to see what happens, how this started and how this whole idea came about. Um, what do you think about AUD USD? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this chart. Ranging AUD. I'm looking for sells because if you take a look on the 4-hour, you'll see the market is below an area of resistance. Okay. See, at the same time, if you're looking for sells, it kind of like makes sense because like we had a price breaking above resistance and then coming back down. So maybe this move up was a fake out. If you look at closely, if that was a fake out and you see confirmations of price breaking support, then I think it's going to continue lower. So yeah, that's correct. When I adapt to my trading plan, once price is around 6 pips. Oh, nice. Yeah, what I usually do is whenever price is around, like let's say 8 pips, no, like around like 10 pips in profit, I mostly secure positions at that point and put stops at break even. I mean, if it's less than, let's say, 8 pips or if it's like 5 or 6 pips, at that point, I don't really, like, I don't really put stops at break even. Like, I let it be. At that point, I mean, if price comes to break even, oh yeah, it's either break even or it's my profits. But I'm not securing at that point, because I'm looking for the whole thing if there's range. USDJPY seems like it broke the low of the previous candle. So, if this was GJ, I'd be selling USDJPY if this was GJ. That's like 3 pips. You know, that's UJ. That's the magic of UJ. 3 pips, 3 pip range. Very exciting. So we look at, looking at GJ. It seems like it's going to break the high over here, and maybe it's going to reject this area as support and not break down because like looking left seems like this was a resistance area yesterday. Because remember yesterday when we had this candle closed above the high of the previous candle, and then these were the buys that were called out yesterday. So if this was a strong area of consolidation, maybe price is now rejecting this area. I bought based on weak body candle and higher low on 30-minute and H4 support, looking good so far. Oh, nice. Beautiful. So, like one tip I'm gonna give is maybe on Friday, if you're new, maybe lower your risk a little bit, and try not to take more than more than two trades. That's going to be a really, really, really important factor on Friday. Close GJ sells a 30-minute turn green. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. You think my second goal TP is 1812. 1812. Let's take a look at that. 1812. We got 1808 over here. We got 1812 here. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I think it'll have to break through a lot of barriers here to get to 1812. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Yeah, I think it'll need to break above 1808 and then break above like 1811 and then go to 1812. What's your experience? How long previous support resistance rejections has impact on the current moving up and down prices? Um, Mostly it's the fresh zones, right? So this price came down, made a low, price went up, created like a dirty resistance and came back down and kind of like retested the low. So this now becomes like a fresh zone. So then price is most likely to reject a fresh zone. Man, UJ is so slow. Like if even if it comes down to this support, check this out. Even if it comes down to the support, this is 3 pips if you really, really try to squeeze it. And then it's 8 pips down to this area. 8 pips. So, something in GJ you can get in one candle you can get like 15, 20 pips. In the same way on UJ, you're getting a complete 8 pips. 8, 9, 8, 9 pips. What do you think about these levels? Let's take a look here. So these levels, we have GJ 1 hour, entry candle, okay. If price, yeah, I think these levels are pretty good. These levels are good. Like what's basically happening is that you're basically anticipating price to break the support. Oh, yeah, anyway, like break the support and come down into the bottom of this range. Kind of like what happened yesterday, right? What happened yesterday was if you go over here on GJ and remove this zone from here. Let me see here. One sec. So this was, I think, right over here. We had an area over here, we had a resistance right over here, right? So this was a consolidation area looking left. So once price came back in this consolidation area, it went to the top of it. In the same way, once price came above this consolidation area here to the left hand side yesterday after after NY open, it kind of like it came into this above the support, resistance, turn support, and then continue on to the top part. So I think in the same way, if we do get a break below this area 134, 340, there's going to be a very high chance it's going to come down towards 134 even. But now it seems like it kind of like rejected that area. 30-minute candle is going bullish here. It's about to close in 9 minutes. So I think sells are going to be pretty risky if someone's trying to take sells over here. So like a break of this would make sense. But for oil, can you say something? Yeah, man, oil prices is way too high. They gotta bring those gas prices down. That's all I can say. I don't trade oil, so I have nothing more to say about oil. I think if you can send a chart, be like a good cemeterian. Got a trick for you. Instead of drawing rectangles manually, just use Fibs tool with solid background, a rectangle extended all the way to the right. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I don't use Fibs to draw them is because, like I want to have my own, because like the zones are constantly changing, right? Like the zones are all very, very subjective. Like, I mean, if you have zones to the left, price may make a new zone, and then you got to adjust to that zone. So I like to make those levels myself, like manually. But I do know, like, with Fibonacci, sometimes they line up pretty nicely too. Took one trade for the Go for London session. Um, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this chart. Man, if someone's in a deep, deep drawdown, say it now or send a chart because, like, hey, we can kind of help you with that drawdown. We can kind of help you to see, like, where price can go. Took entry at 2-hour level and stop loss at 1 hour. Nice. It's pretty good. Felt like a good rejection. Yeah, I felt like a good rejection here too. Took exits right here. So you got complete 10 pips all the way down here. Man, you just really slow. When and why did you decide to stop swing trading? Well, well, the reason I stopped swing trading because like what was working, but most of the time they were just hitting my stops at break even, like or going in drawdown. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, you know what? Like if my swing trades are mostly going in profits before they go in drawdown, I think I can secure profits, right? Like if it goes in profits for the first hour, maybe at that point I can secure like 10, 12 pips, whatever the profit is. And then when I started securing profits, I found out that okay, hey, like you know what? 80% of the time, if my swing trade is going profits first, maybe 100% of the time, I can secure those profits and then leave like a runner running at break even. So what I found out was that, okay, if I'm letting a runner run, that runner is being stopped out maybe like, like 80% of the time, 70% of the time. But then some of those times, like, it continues to run forward. So that's when I decided, okay, you know what, maybe doing this is way better. Let's take a look at this chart here. GJ, I see the zone as a fresh zone. Maybe there's something I missed. Why did you mark this zone as a fresh zone? Oh, it's like a whole zone. This complete thing is a zone. There's no perfect zone, so this whole thing is a zone. Enough for chart talks. Let's hear from your guest. Oh, they're not here yet. So yeah, probably around like 7:30, probably by like NY Open. So we'll see what happens. Should I leave a full position running at break even when I have enough profits to play with? Yes. Like if you're okay with certain like pip amount, you can let the rest run.
Hey Roger, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good bro, you?
Good, good. Would be great if you can set up partial TP with. Oh yes, yeah. For magic keys to work, you need partial TPs. Like you need MetaTrader 4 running. Let's take a look at this chart. This is your GBP. Waiting for the 15-minute candle to close below this green line to enter for sell. Okay, this makes sense. Or what you can do is you can probably wait to see if it creates a support. If it creates a support, then there's a very high chance it's going to continue moving up. Why is your chart so zoomed in? Hard for me to understand. That's a really, really good question, right? And the reason why it's zoomed in is because now you can see the candles, If you're looking at a chart like this, right? If you're looking at a chart like this, you can't read candles. Of course, you can draw your zones and you can draw trend lines and be all like, scientific about it. But if you zoom in, here's the idea, right? We're trading candles. When we're looking at the chart, we're trading candles. So if you can predict where the next 30-minute candle or the 1 hour candle is going to go, that's going to be your trade. That's it. Like if you look at this 30-minute candle, or even better yet, if you look at the 15-minute candle, so let's say if someone took a buy once it broke the high over here, this was like, 8 pips, maybe 9 pips. If it continues to go up, you got your 10 pips over there. That's why it's really important to look at the candles, what the candle is saying, how are they forming, how are they rejecting zones. Like it's really important to really study candles, how they move, because they, man, because like there are a lot of clues that candles leave where price may go. Now this candle is breaking the high of the previous candle and rejecting support, planning to take buy when candle closed bullish. Okay, so at that point you also need to know how big your range is, right? Now when you take a buy, if it closes in the middle of the range, then like you have like a 10 pip range, but still it's in the middle of a range. So sometimes you have to sit back and be like, okay, should this something be I'd be taking or not? So like, at the end of the day, it's all about risk. Like if you really want to put on the risk. Even though I'm not taking any trades today, I think GJ will retest the high from yesterday. The recent drop was just a liquidity grab on the rejection of the 4 hour. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Because currently it's in this range, and this range is 23 pips. This is a 23, 24 pip range right now. When I'm on Zoom with my boys, they make fun of me for being too zoomed in. Yeah, you should tell them, hey, listen, fam, I'm zoomed in because I'm zoned in. Because zoned in on the candle. My win rate for the year is 76%. Oh, nice. However, my losers are always bigger. Okay, I think this is a common problem. And so I'm not earning as much as I should if I was letting my runners run. Any tips to overcome this? Yeah, so I mean, if your losses are bigger than your wins, but your win percentage is still pretty big, I think you need to look at your losses and you need to start looking at what could you have done to make your losses smaller. Let's take this for example here. Let's say that someone took a sell, right? Someone took a sell and maybe they took a sell somewhere down over here and for potentially to bring price down over here, right? And let's say their stop loss was right over here, right? And let's say they opened a one lot and when price hit the stop loss, they lost, let's say, $100. So now instead of losing $100, let's say like someone else said that okay, once price breaks the high of the previous candle, I might want to close 50%. So as price breaks the previous candle, you close like let's say $20, so you take risk off the table, so now you have 50 cent lot running. So once price hits your complete stop loss, instead of losing $100, now you've lost maybe, $60 or $70. So now you've made your loss a little smaller, right? So that's what you do every day. Every day, whenever you're taking losses, you're constantly looking to see how can you make your losses small. That's it. If you can make your losses small, man, your wins are going to look way bigger in comparison. That's it. That's the only way. I mean, trading has really worked for me because I will always focused on how should I keep my losses small. Every time I take a loss, I'm like, okay, how can I make this small? How could I have made this smaller? Because next time it's going to happen. Because here's the thing, man, like winning trades, I mean, if you're losing a lot, I think it's going to be really interesting for you to focus on keeping losses small, right? Because you're going to be busy at that. And when you can do that, and when you do win, man, your wins are going to look way bigger. Wins are going to look way bigger. Knowledge comes as you trade, but as you're focusing on keeping losses small, you're learning about market structure. You're learning about different things in the chart which you see that can give you some signs that okay, maybe now price is going to go, maybe price is going to go against me, so maybe I want to like close my trade by a certain percentage and whatnot. So I think really focusing on that is really, really, really going to help you. If this candle closed too big, maybe I'll wait. Okay, arrange, take profit. What? So I can take buy with small stop loss. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. I mean, if you think that you can take a trade and your trade will go up over here, and if you know how much you're going to risk in that trade, then I think it's perfectly fine. As long as you're going to have your stop loss down over here. But I'm necessarily not taking this trade because, I mean, it does look good. The only thing is now your aggressive stop is probably going to be below this 15-minute candle. And then you're anticipating price to continue up towards, 134, 600. But, at the same time, it's Friday, it's Freaky Friday, and I'm not trying to get freaky with the charts today because I'm laying it very low on Friday. What to do if win percentage is also low? Well, if your win percentage is low, then you got to look at your losers. You got to look at your losses. I can guarantee you, if you're not focusing on your losses, if you're not looking at your losses and thinking about how could this would have been a win and really, really consciously doing that, you will never be profitable, 100%. Because then you're not learning from your losses. And I say it every day. If you're taking a loss, look to see how could you have made that loss better. Look to see how could you have took a winning trade. I say it every day, so you got to do this every day. Because if you're taking losses every day, you should be excited, man. That's something you can learn from your losses then. Like people take trades and they send me the charts. Hey man, I took this loss with like a bummed out face. Like, then what? You took a loss, then what? Then what happened? You just took another trade, you overtraded, you closed the charts, you tried to figure out how you could have taken a winning trade, then what happened? Like, so you got to look at those things. It's very important. I just started to look at my losses. I'm like, okay, man, like I'm taking losses, I'm losing money. I don't want to lose money. How could I have made the right trade? Because, if I took a loss, someone else took a win. Someone else took a win. Maybe that someone else was better than me and they took a win. So I'm like, why? What did they see? Sometimes people cry when they take losses. Man, just like look at that and see how you could have taken the winning trade. Like if let's say someone takes a buy over here, right? If let's say someone takes a buy over here, then your stop loss is down over here, So, and if price comes back down to support, maybe at that point they want to close the entire position, or they want to close like a slight percentage. So that's how you're always managing risk. I lost yesterday and totally learned from it. I'm thankful for the insight. Oh, nice. Let's take a look at this chart here. So, on Fridays, I'm not taking any unnecessary risks. No way, Jose. No, no, no. I'm always confident to hold my drawdown, but I can't confident to hold my profit. How can I change that? Okay, that's a very good question. I think to really change how you should be confident in holding profits, I think this change is going to come in very, very slowly. A lot of people have this issue, right? And I think the best way to do that is to maybe let like a small portion of a position running, because essentially what you want to do is you want to increase confidence in holding positions. If you don't have confidence, then you're not going to make money. So I think whenever you're scared or whenever you're afraid, I would say close like let a small position run, so that even if it comes down, you're not going to be bothered by it. Because what that's going to do is that's going to increase your confidence. You know, so slowly you're going to let smaller positions running in learning mode, and then your confidence is going to go up in your own analysis. And then maybe one day you're going to say, hey, like what, maybe now I'm going to let a more position run. Like this morning I did, no, last night I did 20 lots. And I was and that confidence has built up for the last 3 years. Like 2 years, 3 years. At the same time, I thought that, hey, like what, on this account is possible. Can't wait to hear from your guest speaker. Surprising because it was against funding accounts like FTMO and stuff. Yeah, I was against the whole FTMO policy only because they had a verification system. And the verification was for like 2 weeks. If you can trade for 2 weeks, you can get 100 accounts. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna have a system for like 2 weeks, might as well not have it at all. Might as well just be like, okay, here you go, guys, balls to the wall. So I think that's one thing I like about this company, Funded Talent, is that there's no testing phase. If you think you're good, here's the money, here's the account, go at it. So my biggest mistake in trading, that when I took a loss, I increased my lot size, then I lose more. How can I get rid of that habit? I already answered that question. If you're stopped out on swing trades, 70 to 80%, that has to do with entries and small stops. Can't swing trade on 15-minute charts. From what I see, you're good at short trades mainly. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't really understood the concept of waiting for a day or a day and a half to take a swing trade. I really liked the idea where I can just come to the charts, be in a trade for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, make my money, call it a day. I really, really like that idea. I like the idea of like walking up to somebody and saying, hey, you know what? This morning I worked 3 hours and I made like $1,000. You know, and they'd be like, "Oh wow, man, shit, like, what do you do?" Um, what's the name of the company for funded Raja? Thanks. Oh, it's in my bio. It's in my description here on YouTube. You know, it's an affiliate link, so if you go through there, I'm gonna make some money. Full disclosure. Um, let's see. Let's take a look at this chart here. Price make a minor resistance for price to make a low. Okay, price made a low. Okay, and this here. Price but couldn't close below the low, so this means now the price is ranging. Yes, price is ranging also then also means that there's a probability price may continue going up. You know, but then you have to manage risk. If this setup, if this setup was on, let's say, Wednesday or a Thursday, I would have taken this trade 100%. 110% I would have taken this trade because, like, you know, we rejected here. Um, this candle broke the low of the previous candle and still went up bullish, and I would have taken this trade to go up if this was a Wednesday or a Thursday. You know, but if it's happening on a Friday, and Fridays are like freaky Fridays, man. Like, most times Fridays don't act like normal days, so on Fridays I'm just very, very cautious. I don't know what problem you have with FTMO, but due to slippage, it's not fit for scalpings. Yes. Also, with them, they only have one liquidity provider, but with this, I think with this new company, they have like different brokers you can use, like IC Markets, or you know, so they have like a optional options you have. So the spreads are lower, there's less slippage. I mean, it was just a no-brainer. So we're going to talk more about that, you know, when the guest shows up. I think it's going to be a good one. Let's see here. I'm not trying to freak GG on Friday, so just wait for the clear 10 pip move. Yeah, it's true. I decided to take it slow today and not trade since I had a good week and wasn't on the chart. Now I'm sort of feeling bad for the missed opportunities. Yeah, that's fine. Yesterday I called out this trade over here. You talk about missed opportunities? Man, I called this trade yesterday here, and it ran all the way up towards, you know, 135, 140, 75 pips. And with the entry would have still been in. It wouldn't even got stopped out. So talk about FOMO. I saw it go. I saw every candle move up. You know, but it is what it is. You know, make the decisions, and we gotta stick by those decisions. Have you ever held a position long term for days, weeks? Yeah, this one time I held a position for about, I think it was for about day and a half. It ran for about like 180 pips. That was about it. Which is better, swing or to read candles like yo? I think when you're swing trading, you're also reading candles, right? I mean, come on. Hey, is it good to increase risk if you feel confidence once you have the week good win trade, or would you wait? Yeah, yeah, it's good. I think increasing risk comes with confidence. You know, like I mean, and it also comes with the fact that okay, how well have you done that certain week? You know, so man, like if I'm feeling confident, I go in, I increase my risk. I go in, I'm like, hey, like you know what? Why not? I mean, it makes sense. Why not? Let's do it. Do you remember the flash crash last year in January? Yes. Do you prefer raw spread or standard account? Raw spread. Sells incoming. Yeah, we need to break below 134.380 for sells to be incoming. On Mondays and Fridays, I only look for 5 to 10 pips, but any other day I aim for 20. Yep, I think that's good. That's pretty good. How do people use bigger lot sizes? Well, that's a very important question. I think to really increase your lot sizes, you need to see how much money you got in your account, and then you need to just increase the lot size, and that's it. Yesterday, Asia and the Asia before that both had impulse breaks at the beginning of 8 p.m. How do we know when we should? How do we know when we should take impulse trades out of range and when we should wait for retest, especially in Asian session? Well, Jonas B, that comes with practice, that comes with a lot of practice and watching the same thing happen over and over again. So let's take a look at this Asian session that we talk about. So I think it was right over, let's see here. Yeah, I think it was somewhere over here. Yeah, this was the Asian push right here. Right? So let's say someone missed this move. So from the webinars we've done on how to add entries and impulse trades, what we see is that, okay, we start planning things, right? So, and the planning is really quick. So let's say we were forming support over here, right? And this was the Asian open candle. And let's say you missed this trade. Now you got to look at how you could have taken this trade. So maybe the break of the high of this candle would have warranted like a good entry, and maybe a TP would have been this wick over here, and once it reached this target you could have had like a runner running, and the runner could have ran a little bit more, so that would have made sense, and the stop would have been below the candle that was breaking the high, right? And that's one way to look at it. And you look at that, you're like, okay, perfect, I'm going to make a mental note of that. And then you go to the next Asian session and you see what happens there. If you miss a trade, you make a mental note of that as well.
I caught those buys in the Asian session.
Oh, nice.
I did that exact setup, to be fair.
Oh, was like the same idea?
Exactly what you said.
Yeah, no, it was very nice. I saw it afterwards and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw it and then I knew how I would have entered it.
I like the hourly. That's what I liked about it, because the hourly was closing above the resistance that we had. So I thought that bearish 30-minute with no wick to the top, if we're going to come up and start breaking the highs, then the hourly would then in turn continue bullish.
Yeah, because it's already closed like a doji candle.
And
next
but
one.
it respected the resistance area that we had, so it was closing above.
Yeah, no, that's nice. It's very good. All right, what's this? If you were to trade today, would you trade gold if it closed and broke resistance? See, if I would trade gold, I would want to make sure that my stop would be below the 1 hour candle. And as the candles start closing above this area, then I would keep my stops below the 30-minute candles. That's what I would focus on. Hey, Roger. I don't know who Roger is. Give us a quick lesson on how you trade imbalances. I don't trade imbalances. Hey, Roger. Do I look like a Roger? If prices in GJ break below the actual support, isn't the 4-hour wick an obstacle for a sell position? Let's take a look here. Okay. Well, oh yeah. Well, I think if it does break below this area, 134, 380, it can still continue bearish. Then you're just placing your trust in it, right? You're placing your trust in it that, okay, like, you know what, if it's breaking down, then it should continue moving down. But at the same time, if you start thinking about the fact that, okay, it should continue down, but then we got a support, what if it bounces from there? Then you can't take a trade. Then you cannot take a trade. Then you're basically talking yourself out of a trade. What do you think a new trader should learn first? Trading strategy or trading psychology? I think a new trader should learn how to interpret the losses. I think that's what they should learn, new traders, how to interpret the losses. Like if you're taking the loss, to see how you could have taken like a winning trade and whatnot. Oh, someone took buys on GJ. All right, man. If you took buys on GJ and if you think this is going to continue going up, I think a stop should be below the current 30-minute candle, because this is the second half of the 15-minute candle now starting. So let's look at the 15-minute candle. Yeah, once this 15-minute candle breaks the high of the previous one, at that point 30-minute candle flips bullish. Then you can have a 30-minute candle continue up to fill the wick and possibly come up towards 134, 134,600. Yeah, that makes sense. Sir Roger, please, sir, how become with 50 billion? Oh, I don't know. Um, are you learning how to trade US 30? Because you said you made any losses, a bit difficult to trade that pair. Yeah, I stopped looking at US 30. Now I just stick to what I know. What's the name of the software that makes your cam background? It's Zoom, and it's not a background. This is the house we bought. You see this green plant we bought? We brought it in yesterday. The gardener had to water plant it. We just got this new desk over here. Oh, we just got this new desk over here. The maid is gonna walk around in that alley over there. She's cleaning the floors over there. Our dining table was a mess last night. We had like 100 people in there. You know how it is. You know the vibes. Who's the guy who spoke about taking the same trade in Asian session? Oh, that was HFX. Have you heard of the coin shortage in the US? No, I have not heard about the coin shortage. I didn't know there's such thing as a coin shortage. Does Uncle Ted have a channel? Yes. It's called the Uncle Ted channel. Uncle Ted with the Gulag Gang channel. Um, the earth is flat, sky is green, grass is blue, people are dogs barking. Actually, you're wrong, except for one thing about the earth being flat. Everything else is just wrong. Let's take a look at these cells in gold. There are, ooh, rejection to the left break below the other area, coming down. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. If you see some resistance forming, then makes sense for it to continue down. Did you hear about the Twitter Bitcoin scam? 118 million were stolen. People are dumb. Oh, nice. That's amazing. Yeah, people are really stupid, man. People are really stupid. You should buy this phone. Will match your house. Let's take a look at this phone. Caviar iPhone. Oh, wow, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. Caviar. Oh, but I'll have to spend $1,200 more to buy an iPhone. This is some baller stuff right here. Look at that. Oh, this is $137,770. $230. I bet they could give me a $30 discount, right? The most anticipated holiday gift. Jesus. Precious materials, body, decorative elements. Nice, man. It's pretty nice. It's really sweet. I'm gonna think about it. That's about a third of what I have right now. Have you heard of the Escobar phone? Yes, Pablo Escobar phones. I saw a documentary on it. Let's take a look at this. Pablo Escobar. Maybe if I do a full withdrawal, I can get that iPhone. Probably not gonna. Alright, let's take a look at that. Oh, Pablo Escobar. Yeah, I've seen this phone. I've seen a documentary on this phone. Pablo Escobar phone. It's like an Android. Yeah, it's an Android right here. Anyone has any advice on which exchange is best? Yugo's way, IC markets, purple. Yeah, I say IC market is pretty good. IC markets. Got mangoes stolen from the mango tree. What should I do? I think you're talking about Dota. In Dota, you can plant a mango tree and get mangoes from it and get health and mana. So I think what do you think about fear in trading? I think fear in trading comes with having low confidence. You know, that's the only way you have fear in trading. I mean, your fear in trading also comes from the fact that maybe you're risking too much. Maybe like your past losses are affecting your confidence in the trade that you're about to take. So I think if you're really having fear in the chart, I think the best thing is to just execute. Because once you execute, you have committed to greatness. And the reason why people say that once you execute, you've committed to greatness is because now you're going to find out that whether this trade is going to go in profits or you're going to manage your risk. You know. Now remember, we're not going to talk about how it's going to go in profits or in a loss. we're talking about how it's going to go in profits or how you're going to manage your risk. Because once price goes in drawdown, that's the point you really, really need to start managing risk. And as we see here, the 15-minute candle has broken the high of the previous 15-minute candle, and now the 30-minute candle is now overall heading bullish. So it should continue this wick and then hopefully continue up towards, 134, 600. Yeah, so basically fear, fear just comes with just execute, man, and always understand how much you're gonna risk. Always. How much you have on the line. Always you're gonna. I think one good thing about the these funding companies is that they really, really focus on risk management. I think that's one really good thing about them. Like, whatever the structure is, at the end of the day, if you cannot manage risk, you're not going to get paid. I think that's really well with trading too, because in trading, if you can't manage risk, or at the same time, if you can't be patient, you're not going to get paid. As a beginner, what should I drawing levels? I think you need to restructure that question. Since the start of June, I can consider gain my account 90%, but I plan to deposit and increase my lot size. What's your suggestion? I think if you're looking to increase your lot size, I think you should go ahead and do that. At the same time, if you've grown your account, if you think you can add more funds to it and maybe increase lot size, I think that's a great idea. See how it goes. Yesterday I ordered Magic Keys. How long usually takes to be delivered to US? Well, since it's Friday, I think by the end of next week you should get it. The funny thing is, we sent some packages to Australia, and the package came back from Australia, and the reason why they came back was that the customs said that they had dangerous goods in them, and what dangerous goods they had were batteries. So they assumed there are batteries in them, and they sent them back. And I'm like, man, there's nothing. It's just a calculator. It's just this magic key, and they think it's batteries in them. Man, it was amazing how people assumed. Maybe someone was having a bad day there today. I'm thinking about changing brokers because GJ is almost untradeable with the spread. Any recommendations? Yeah, I have some brokers listed in my description, so you can go through that, and yeah, you can make your own judgment. When will the guest be here? Well, probably like in half an hour. Just got a lot of time. Would you advise not trading in the range, or with experience that could be done? I think with experience you can trade in the range, 100%. With experience. But the thing about trading in the range is that once you have a solid range, the idea is that once price goes to resistance, you're trying to take a sell. Once price goes to support, you're trying to take a buy. So very easily you can get stuck in in over trading when you're trading in the range. Because if price breaks the low over here, then you're like, okay, we're coming down, you take a sell, then price comes back up, you're like, oh man, now I'm probably taking a loss, maybe close the trade, then price starts to go up, you take a buy, price goes up, and then it forms a resistance, you close like minor profits, and it starts to go down, you take a sell, then price goes back up again, you're like, so you can get stuck in over trading a lot. That's why now I personally stay away from ranges. We got Mac on the mic. Welcome.
Morning, good morning.
Let's take a look at this chart here. When price come down, I take another buy. When price come back, I close my entire trade. Is there another thing I should improve? Oh, wait. When 15-minute candle close bearish, I close half my position. Okay. When price comes back up, I close my entire position, so my trade today is break even. Okay, well, if you close your entire position, I think you should have let the rest of the position run. Because if you're closing partial position, now you see it's broken the high, so it's continuing to move up now. But if you're closing partial positions down here, the only reason is that because now you want the rest of the position to run. If you're not letting it run, then there's no point in closing partials. Then you should just close the whole position. And as we can see now, it's starting to move up now. So I think this whole retracement was a pretty deep retracement. Um, can you bring Hugo from Hugo's Way? No, I mean, it's not gonna come out. I mean, we don't even know him. We don't even know if he exists.
His name is Hugo.
Oh. People have these demands, get this guy on. Like, this is some virtual court or something.
I know. There's nothing stopping from other people pushing people to message Raja and say, hey, you should come on the live stream and talk. Like, it's not Raja's job to go find guests for his own show.
Pressure people to come on. That's kind of what it is.
You're like the Anderson Cooper of trading. People want to come on and talk.
Yeah, come on here. Clear all doubts. Clear
Yeah.
our misconceptions. Let's have a conversation.
It's probably the best forum to do that, to be honest. From being all objective, like no bias here because we're here every day. But you got 1,800 people. It's recorded, and it has some credibility since it's been here for like almost 2.5 years now. Like it's over. I guess it's been 3 years, right? 3 years we've been doing this, and 2 years on YouTube. And he's on mute because he still doesn't know how to use mic. Rakeel's just talking to himself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be 3 years in total and 2 years on YouTube.
Yeah, so I mean, let's put it this way: if I was someone looking to sell something, if I was looking to talk about something, man, I'd try and get on here as a guest. Just to say my piece and like sell whatever I had to sell. And do it in a obviously a proper way, like don't try and swindle people, but like if you had education, if you had something that you want to talk about, you come on here and just say, hey, this is what we do every day. I've got like 3-4 supercars. I've got 8 supercars. I got a big space for them. There's like 20 people that work with me every day. Man, there's a couple people on the internet that got like these big, huge warehouses of supercars. It's like pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all hidden, like you don't see them.
Yeah, so if you have a guest that you want to come on, you should be DMing them on social media and saying, hey, come on to the Raja Bank show and
The
talk.
show? You said the show?
Yeah, it's the Raja Bank show. This is the morning show, right? Like you're on, it's like Hot 105 or Hot 97,
97.
the Breakfast Club, you
The
come on
Breakfast-
here.
Charlemagne.
Yeah.
You just said the show.
Ooh,
This is the show. This is like the NBA, or when you play hockey, you get to the show. The show is the NHL. This is the show.
Would you get KenFX? KenFX was on here before. We've had a
Yeah.
lot of people on here. We had KenFX, we had QBanks, we had Nemo Profits, we had Austin Silver.
Remember that guy that used to have that that weird strategy? Man, I forgot.
Wyckoff.
The Wyckoff. The Wyckoff guy.
Yeah, that wasn't a guest. That was just
Oh, that
some-
wasn't a guest.
that was just some guy from Gulag.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, we also had Talking Options too. I think that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
The best stream guest we've ever had was Talking Options and Ty from Friday. Yeah, I think those were the best streams we had.
I think Talking Options would have been a little cleaner if she had just just formulated her thoughts a little bit easier. Like if she had like a sort of a plan on how she was going to present her information. It just seemed she was all over the place, and then she was defending herself, and then she was going back and forth. I think it would have just been if she had just stuck to like, hey, this is a presentation I'm going to give you on what I do. I think it would have worked well. And then answer questions afterwards.
Yeah, like she just came with a strong attack mode, like a strong,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, before she came on, she always asked me like, hey, what exactly am I walking into? You're walking in the jungle today. When she came, I was like, yeah. Yeah, but I think like we've done a really good job in really filtering out some stuff as the guests come on. So it's been like everyone who's been on, like they've said, hey, like we had a really good experience. Plus, like here on YouTube, we get new people every day coming in. Transparent FX, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, like don't say who should we get on. Tell them to message Raja. Raja's not gonna go chase people. It's so dumb. Like, oh hey, can you come on? I need to talk to you. He doesn't need to talk to anybody. You guys want to hear people? You push the people. You guys put the pressure on people, not us. I don't really care to talk to anybody, to be honest. But if they come on, I'll definitely have a conversation.
Yeah, man, like we're booked till the 31st of June. Yeah, next date is 7th August.
Uh,
Can someone master all trading session in not just London? Negative. Well, you can, but it's going to be very tough. Are you going to trade all sessions? Probably not. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is price made a low, price tried to break the low but closed above support, entry on the 15-minute break, closed 10 pips, 75%. Very good. This is beautiful. I think these buys really worked out over here a little bit for people. Let's take a look at this chart here. Ooh, look at that. 15-minute close above, entry over here, anticipated move, close partial, left a runner to go to 134,600. Yes, pretty good. Can I get some advice here, please? I feel that I'm really good analyst, but I'm poor at executing. I close my profits early, can't do the same with losses, really struggling, annoying. Yeah, I mean, it's a confidence issue, right? I mean, maybe leave like a small positions run to see if they really run to your profits. And, once you do that a couple times, you're going to understand that, okay, what percentage are really running in profits? Man, people are saying get Anil Mangal. I don't know what those guys are. Right now, the people I want on are the people who I used to learn from, when I first started. Like there was this Akil Stokes guy, I used to watch his videos. There's this Perveen guy who built this app, Stinu app. This app is called Stinu app. Trying to get him on. Naveen, yeah, his guy's Naveen. He built this app, Stinu. Urban Forex app. That's what he built.
Oh, the one to measure the pips and profit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very good.
He's traveling right now, so he's unreachable. Okay, let's take a look at this.
When it comes to turning our driveways into
I tried to enter this trade, but my stop loss is too big, so I wait for candle to make pullback because I want a little stop loss. I take a buy when candle is show me strong bearish candle. Is it dangerous? Yeah, it's dangerous because, well, no, I think it's okay. This is a really good entry. I think this idea was also correct because you anticipated the candle to go bullish without breaking the low. So I mean, I think that's why you had to stop right there, because if this candle continued down and broke the low, then it would have been like this trade wouldn't have been valid, but it stayed above the low, it created a higher low, made a higher high, so I think it's pretty good so far. Ooh, someone had a stressful week. All right, Wyckoff for the hijack. Yes. How do you find your stream? How to find your stream with Q Banks? I don't know. I have no idea. You'll have to go through all the streams. I think he was on Mixer. No, no, no. He was on YouTube. Yeah, he was on YouTube. Yeah, back then we used to have like around 1,200 people. Yeah, it's good. Like, on Fridays, it's good to entertain people and good to have guests because on Fridays there's not much trading. Candle has now left zone, origin zone. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an example of a trade that if you're looking to take, that's what you would do is you would ideally want to have your candle leave that zone. I mean, technically, it still hasn't because you can consider this final wick here your zone. So you can see that there's a good possibility that it may tap one more time into this area, but you can see it's leaving here. And what we're doing is we're creating that step idea, right? And that'll bring us back up to here. So that's where this candle here, people may say, oh, take a buy, or sorry, take a sell, but it's hard because the sell has to break through this zone over here, and then it has to break through this area over here. So you might find that this candle's coming back down just to pull right back up, but the idea would be you would take sells below this area here, or now you would take buys above this area over here. That's what you're doing, because now you're leaving this entire area. You're leaving that area. So when you take a closer look and you say, okay, well, how can I avoid getting stopped out? You don't want to be trading in this area. Like, this is a no trade area. This area here, you wait for candles to break out of that area and then let them move. Because at the end of the day, one candle isn't changing direction, and if we have a trend, you're going to get GJ moving for 30 or 40 pips. You don't have to worry about trying to grab 5 or 10 pips in this range here. You can trade away from it.
All right. Looks like the guest for today is here. Let's see if we can get her on. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
I'll start our video. Okay, there we go.
Oh, nice. How are you guys? Good?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. We're doing great. We're doing great. Thank you for taking the time, early in the morning, showing up to the streams here. Really
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
no worries. We're usually up pretty early, so thanks for having us.
Oh, nice, nice. So, we have people from Forex Tips. They run Forex Tips, so we decided it's going to be really good to have them on as guests and to really talk about what started their journey and how basically Forex Tips started. Because when I first started in June 2016, I used to follow that page and I was like, man, these guys give really, really good tips. So how'd this whole idea start?
I started the page really just like to document my journey, which I guess is kind of what everyone does, right? I was actually at the time still nursing, so my history is in healthcare. Actually, I was a registered nurse. So yeah, I was still nursing, and I wanted to do more Forex stuff, and I just wanted to kind of document my journey. And yeah, I made the page, and it just kind of took off. I didn't really do anything special. I was just sharing how I traded and things that I've learned. So nothing fancy. There was no big plan there.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah, I think that's how most people started too. Like, me myself, when we first started, just started to post my trades, and I started to see that okay, like, in the industry, no one was really posting why the trade was taken or what was the rationale behind certain stuff. Because I think maybe some people thought that that's like extra information which we don't want to give out. But I saw that as no, like if I give this information out, maybe someone in my position can learn something from it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's how we grew as well at the same time. And yeah.
Yeah, just like putting out a lot of value. And I know you do that on your page too. It's just, yeah, good way to build community.
Yeah, nice, awesome. It's awesome. So, how did you guys? start, like, at your new headquarters. I saw like you guys got a new office now, and that's pretty good looking. It's just looking really nice.
Yeah. This is my partner actually. So she's partnered on funding talent with me. So that's why she's tagging along. She'll know some answers that I might not even know. But our headquarters is for our funding talent program. So for those of you who don't know, that's essentially we're a prop firm, a funding program. So yeah, we just moved in here actually. We just moved in here, geez, what was it? A couple weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, maybe?
We're pretty new in here.
We're just hiring more people and kind of growing pretty fast. So that's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I've seen like, yeah, I saw the website, I saw that there were like no tests or something like that. So how does this funding thing really work? Like the whole fundamentals behind it. That's something.
Yeah. So basically, like you said, the big difference with my program than most other ones, like I don't make anyone complete a challenge. So when you start out with us, you can get paid right away. So we pay bi-weekly. Now, obviously, because we're not making anyone complete a challenge or a test or application, the percentage is pretty low when you start out. So we pay people 10% of all profits made bi-weekly. And there are really strict guidelines too. I should note that, like, we're not just paying out just anyone. You have to stick to and adhere to like a really strict set of parameters that I've got in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big difference with us is that we don't make anyone complete a challenge, get a certain target, or anything like that before we pay them out. Now, we do eventually get traders live as well. And once we get you live, then we only take a 25% cut. So that's once you've proven yourself, and we know that you're actually going to be making us some money, because essentially that's how we make money, right? When we get traders live and we take a portion. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because we were talking about this earlier too. That one good thing about any like funding companies is that they really instill this idea of risk management. Like maintain risk, like whosever money it is, just maintain risk, because like at the end of the day, if you're not managing risk, you're not in the business of trading.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So we also have we have max loss parameters. We also have consistency parameters, and I know I probably have a few of my members live here now, and they know that that's something like I'm really strict on. We implement that rule on a regular basis. We want people trading within the set parameters that we have, and like you said, yeah, it's great because it really sets you up for success once you're trading live, because you have those really good, risk parameters already set into your trading schedule. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through some of the comments here.
Yeah.
They're coming in a little fast. So
yeah, we call the YouTube chat the gulag.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, we call it the gulag. Like they come at like supersonic speed, and sometimes they're a lot, sometimes they're overwhelming. So sometimes you just gotta visually just ignore certain things and then go to things. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty fun.
So someone asked how long it takes to go live, and it's going to be a minimum of 3 months, because what we do is we fund up to $5,000 each month, and this is for a $100,000 account, into a live account, and you can access it once you get to $15,000. So it's a minimum of 3 months.
Oh, okay. So let's say that I just found out the website, right?
Yep.
I found out about the website and I want to sign on. Let's say I'll do the $100,000 account. I pay and I get the account. So now, what can I expect right after signing up?
Okay, so once you sign up, you are brought to what we call your member dashboard. So if you sign up for the bigger package, there's a little bit more education. So we, as part of our program, we do have, educational packages within there. So there's a bunch of education that you can access right away. We do ask for up to 24 hours to get your details to you, because that's a manual process. So our team has to do that manually, so it can take some time. It's usually not 24 hours, but we ask you to give us that long. You get your demo account details after you choose your broker. and you can basically make sure you read the rules and the guidelines so you're set up and you can get started right away.
Oh, so sorry to cut you off. So we can choose like a broker that we wanna.
Yeah, it's got to be a broker that's within, like a broker that we work with, but we're always trying to add them. So right now we have Hugo's Way, OctaFX. Did we add Pepperstone?
Yeah, so we have Purple Trading, Tick Mill, we have OctaFX, Hugo's Way, KOT, and IC Markets right now. Those are the 6 we offer.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Different choices.
Yeah.
And now I want to add in here, because some people ask me like, oh, well, some of your brokers aren't regulated. And the reason for that, guys, is it's a demo account that you begin trading. So once you're live, it's a fully regulated account. Okay. So we're not going to get you trading live on an account that's not regulated. The reason we've added these brokers is simply because they were the most popular ones. So that's what people wanted, and we worked them into the program.
Nice. So once I get the demo account, so that's essentially is going to be the $100,000 demo account that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's say I start making money on it. Let's say the first 2 weeks I made 7,000 on it, right?
Yeah.
So I heard that some of that funds goes into a live account. How does that work?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so if you make $7,000 in your first 2 weeks, you're going to get a 10% bonus of that amount. So that's going to be $700. Now, at the end of the month is when we calculate your funded earnings. So let's say you made an additional $7,000, you're at $114,000 now. You're going to get a $1,400 payout as your talent bonus. And then we're also going to fund $5,000 into your live account that month. So you get paid both ways, and you can compound those. It doesn't reset halfway through the month.
That's
good.
That's not bad at all.
Not at all, yeah.
I mean,
it ends up being more than 10%. Like, it's not 10% monthly because it's compounded, right? So it's much more than 10%.
Yeah, so you do get paid on the demo account. I just see a couple questions come in. So no, you don't have to wait 3 months before you get paid. You do start getting paid right away. So your first payout would be 14 days after you sign up. And even when you do get to the live account, you can actually trade the demo account at the same time, continue funding that live account, and continue getting those talent bonuses every 2 weeks as well.
That makes me wanna jump on, because like I mean, like if I take $100,000 account to, let's say, 120,000, that way I'm getting at the end of the 2 weeks or a month, I'm getting like $2,000.
Yeah. And we do have people that do make those kind of returns. Like, I think our largest talent bonus was upwards of $4,000, and that's USD, right? Again, like, the whole point of the program is to fund talent. We are looking for those talented traders, and we've certainly found some. We do have some people that are on those live accounts already, and we have lots of people that are on track to get there very soon. So
nice. It's actually pretty sick. And
we're really trying to build these mutual beneficial relationships with our customers. Like, that is the main goal for sure. We want you guys to succeed, because eventually that helps us too, right?
Yeah. So what's the risk like the risk parameters?
Yep. So we have a max daily loss of $5,000. This is on the 100K account. I'm just gonna use that to make it easy. And then a max loss of 10K. So if you're familiar with FTMO, it is very similar. Ours are a little bit more lenient, because I believe when FTMO calculates max loss, just the way they do it, they kind of, ours is just a little bit more lenient in how we calculate it. I'm not going to get into exactly how we calculate it. It's going to confuse people. I have a really nice video breakdown on it on the website. But yeah, so obviously, and those are very strictly implemented. I want to be really honest about that. Also, consistency. So we do have a consistency rule. We don't allow people to dramatically increase their risk or decrease their risk at certain times in the month. You guys have to remember, like, this is, it's a business, so we need to ensure that no one's lucking into profits. So we do strictly implement those. So if you read through the rules, and I always say this, like, you can come to me. I'm like the easiest person to chat with. If I break it down for you and you feel it's not for you, by all means, like, it might not fit everyone's style. So I like to be very forward and honest about that. because we don't want anyone signing up that, this program doesn't suit their style. They're a very aggressive trader, and it just wouldn't work for them. So I just try to be, as honest as I can.
Yeah, we do like to be completely transparent. And even in that, we always welcome people to send us their trading plan and should to see if they do fit. Jessica always goes through them and tells them any pointers that would, maybe fit better with our risk parameters and consistency rules. And so long as people do that, they're usually always in the green with us. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty nice, that the way the whole system is working. So basically, it's not like you can't trade news and something like that, because at the same time you have to manage risk, right?
You can trade news, all indices, all forex pairs, metals, crypto, oil, all that stuff. So not everybody offers those. You can hold trades over the weekend. That makes us different as well.
Good pointer. I forgot that.
Nice. So there was a topic that we were discussing, that how sometimes, like if let's say someone's a very aggressive scalper, they take like 10 trades a day, and then they're really scalping and compounding. Is that going to break any like rules or any like corporate thing?
No. So we do have a few aggressive traders. Actually, I think one of them is probably in here, because he did tell me he was coming. He follows you really closely as well. And as long as you stick to a solid plan, so if you're aggressively trading throughout the month, that's fine. There's no issue with that. If, however, you're risking 2% per day, and then, one day you see a really big opportunity and you try to aggressively scalp into it, that's going to flag you. So, and I just want to be honest about that. We're not going to pay out based on that. The reason being, I know people will say, well, I saw a really great opportunity and it fit my plan. But the other side of the coin is that it often will blow up people's account, more often than not. So we're trying to avoid that from happening. And again, it is a business. We want people to be following the guidelines we have. Now, I should say, and I want to make really clear, once our traders go live, all of those rules are gone. So those parameters we have, they don't need to abide by them. So you just need to stick with them till you're live. Once you're live, you can trade aggressively. You can, scale into news. You can do all those things because you've gained our trust. You've kind of stuck with the guidelines. You've made us money. You've made money on the demo. You've proven yourself. So yeah, the only rule we have implemented on the live account is the 10% max loss.
So I have a question. Sorry.
Sure.
So why would you implement those parameters on a demo account and not a live account? Like, what would be the benefit of that? So if people blow a demo account, like, there's not really any hurt in that, right? So I'm confused on why wouldn't you have the same parameters on both the demo trade and the live trade, right? Because the live trade, you would figure if people are more aggressive, they're obviously going to generate more money, but they'll also blow the account, right? And
I'll explain exactly what I totally get what you're getting at there, but the reason is we don't have a challenge. So we're paying people right off the bat. So as soon as they sign up with us, we're paying them out without any previous knowledge of trading history, if they're talented. So it's in a way where we're paying you out, our challenge is trading the demo account. So it's not really a challenge because we don't have a target or anything like that, but that's how we gauge your talent. So we're willing to pay you based on that. But you have to stick to the guidelines. So, and I'm very open about the guidelines.
Yeah.
I'm very transparent about them. Like I said, it might not fit every trading style. I'm totally fine with that. But they are, like I say, strictly implemented. Once you're live, you've already traded with us using those parameters that I feel are very important, that I want my traders to use. I've seen you can make profit, and at the end of the day, this is a business. So I have to scout people who are very disciplined. I'm giving them, my capital.
Well,
to
yeah,
trade.
that's exactly it. That's why I was trying to figure out, because it just seemed like people could be, they could sit and be very conservative, collect the money, and then put them on a live account, and then you try and hyper scalp or be super aggressive,
No,
and that would be
I get where you're coming from, and really we've still got the max loss to protect us from that. So yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, basically
But that's
it's
a
all
great
about
question.
trust. Yeah, basically it's like at that point when you're on the live account, you've gained our trust. We've worked with you for X amount of months, so we feel as though there is a relationship there and we can trust you not to just take it and blow. But then again, as Jessica said, that is why we do still have that one rule. So we are hoping you're going to stay disciplined and use all those things you've learned on the demo account. Should you not, that's exactly why we have that 10% rule. But that is a wonderful question.
Yeah. So how long could you stay on a demo account? Because effectively, I could pay $600 tomorrow and make, like, I usually make about 10 or 15% a month on my account, so I could technically do that on a demo account forever. Does that make sense? Oh, nice. Okay.
And yeah, because we'll keep funding your live account, and as that live account grows, like we want our traders continuing on the demo account, because it compounds the live account, and that's where we make the bulk of our money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, say that again. I'm just trying to understand, because I mean, I'm going to be fully transparent, and I mean, I'm not trying to dig, but it's just a lot of these funding companies have appeared in the last couple of years. And to be honest, I mean, I have a lot of background in finance. I own a brokerage. I've taught trading. I trade, and I also have a private fund. And there's a lot of rules and regulations around AML, funding accounts, licensing surrounding that. So what I'm trying to figure out is, obviously I don't need to know your business model because it's obviously profitable. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. But it's, from a standpoint, from a trading standpoint, a lot of these, are we setting up to fail? Are we using percentages knowing that 90% of traders fail? So, hey, I'll throw $600 in. We know 90% of the people will fail. Like, how are we mitigating, or how are we giving the best opportunity to people to succeed? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out, because now people are, instead of trading their own live money with $600, they're saying, okay, I'm going to put $600 here, and I'm going to hope for the best and trade like a demo account and get a bonus at the end of the month or the end of 14 days. I'm just trying to figure out the advantage of doing that compared to trading your own account. That's all.
And I'm totally open to answer all of that. Just going back, and then I'll touch on what you just said there. Going back, so we do compound the live account earnings monthly, and all I mean by that is every month we add money to a live based on profits made.
Nice.
Now, what you said for the next thing you said, and I don't know if you're wondering like how we profit, because we do profit in two ways, and again, like I'll try to be very transparent with you here. So we do profit from monthly fees. Okay. It's through the monthly fees, it's a subscription-based business. We do profit. Obviously I'm not going to talk about numbers or anything like that. Yep. The bulk of our profit comes from getting traders live. So as our traders, we do take a 25% cut of those earnings. Now you said like someone could put $600 into a live account on their own and just trade it. So why would they take $600 and trade a demo? Well, I would argue that joining our program is going to help even a new trader. Now, we don't recommend people who don't have a good grasp on trading to join us by any stretch, but even for a beginner learning, we really implement those risk management techniques. So instead of taking $600, and I don't know about you, but I know when I started trading, I definitely blew more than $600.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly it. Yeah. I think a lot of
that, because like you can't, like we have risk, set risk parameters in place. You have a daily max loss. You have an overall max loss. So it's really setting you up fundamentally for great risk management in the future. Not only that, you do get education. You're not paying for nothing. I have great education, an awesome community of traders that we've built up. And yeah, I think that risk management piece alone, plus you get the opportunity to possibly, get paid if you're good and you keep continuing on. unlike other funding programs, like we don't, if you violate the max loss, we do have a smaller fee to get back in. So you don't have to start from scratch and buy a
Oh,
new
okay. Okay.
So there is, a fee to remain in the program. So yeah, I would argue that spending $610 with us is almost better than putting it in a live account, because most people who put it in a live account blow it, and you're not going to blow it and get nothing with us.
Yeah, and I mean, for from that standpoint, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, it's great that both you ladies came on and gave some sort of view into this. I believe, even myself as an owner of a retail platform, I get thrown under the fire too, because people are always asking, what am I doing? Am I manipulating? Am I doing this? So I think your job here, doing what you're doing in terms of education and in terms of trying to provide transparency. Obviously, you're a private company. You don't need to divulge numbers, and that's not what no one will ever ask that. I think it's important because these funding programs truthfully leave a bad taste in my mouth, because I understand account churning. I understand how things are working. So really it comes down to the relationship that you would have with the organization and people like yourself. If you're coming and you're fully transparent, you're accessible, you're truly wanting to see people succeed, I think that will surpass the idea of, well, you're paying a monthly subscription, why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense. And I mean, to those questions as well, it's like, well, if you don't have to do this, like nobody's forcing you to do anything, but it's great to hear how things actually work and to get a better idea of why they do what they do. And I mean, at the end of the day, I support people that run an honest business and they want to make money. And I mean, hey, if you found a niche that makes sense and you're able to quote unquote exploit it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Amazon makes billions of dollars selling stuff online. Anyone else can sell stuff online too, no one's stopping them. But it's, are you putting in the work? So I do appreciate that aspect, because I've struggled with this as well. Like personally, I've struggled with the whole funding an account, because I don't get why people would want to give away their money to people that can't trade. That's sort of what it comes down to.
No, and I appreciate the questions, and it's this, and not just in my funding program, but I've really tried to bring a lot of transparency to the Forex industry, and you guys both know that in our industry there's a lot of kind of shady business practices. So the reason I started Funding Talent was to bring a better funding program to the space. And I've really tried to be, like I said, anyone can come to me. I'm really accessible. If you have any questions about the program, I don't want people joining if it's not for them, because I truly do believe, there are people who have a really aggressive style strategy who wouldn't fit great in my program. And I'm really honest about that. Like Josie was saying, like if someone wanted to send me their trading plan and say, hey, Jess, like, do you think I'd be a good fit? I'm always going to be honest with you. We have a refund policy in place that most funding programs don't allow. We have a totally accessible support team. We go live every day in our group. Like, we really have tried to bring a lot of transparency to this space. And I'm totally up for answering any questions, because I take a lot of pride in my business. It's something we, the being honest and, again, transparent with our audience is something I've always been really big on.
Man, like this one thing I really like about this is that you guys are here as a team, as real people, like really taking on hard questions and answering them. I think it's really awesome. I approached some other companies and they didn't want to come on. And when someone says, no, we don't want to come on, then I'm like, I mean, why not? I mean, this is a great platform where you can really show off what you do. Like if you're providing value, I mean, you should be like, oh man, you know what? I really want to go on the stream. I really want to talk about what I do, what I have to offer. But when you're like, I'm not sure if I want to come on, then that just feels like, why? Like, is there something missing?
Flag, yeah. No, we're open to, we go live on our page every week. We answer some tough questions.
Yeah.
And We just try to be as honest as we can. So
I do want to quickly touch on a few things I'm seeing in the comments just regarding to fees. So that $600 fee is a one-time sign-up fee. So you don't pay that every month. I saw a couple people were a little bit confused about that. The $250, that is a monthly subscription. That does not have to come out of your pocket. So if you are profitable with us, we do give you the opportunity to either use your talent bonus to pay for that fee, or you can use your funded earnings to pay for that fee. So that doesn't have to come up through your pocket every month.
So essentially, if you're trading a $100,000 account, all you'd have to make is $250 on that account to pay your monthly fee.
Yeah.
So most of our traders that are profitable don't pay it.
They don't pay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because it makes sense. And like, even if the first month you feel like that, hey, maybe it's not working out, then you can just say, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna maybe just.
You just don't pay the fee. Yeah, we don't take any automatic payments from you
No.
guys at all. So if at the end of the month you're like, this isn't for me and I don't want to keep going, we do not take that $250 from you. We will still give you any talent bonuses you're owed, and you can walk away. There's no contract. You don't have to stay with us for a certain amount of time, and you can come back at any time you'd like. Same with violation of accounts. I do see some people speaking about that. You certainly don't pay any more should you make a risk violation and violate your account. So your account would become suspended upon violating a 5% or 10% rule. Once you do decide to come back, which can be as often or as quickly as you'd like, it's actually a discounted fee. So you wouldn't pay the $600 again. Absolutely not. It's discounted from that amount.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. That's actually really good that you're not paying anything extra.
Yeah. We with returning customers, we do want to, treat you guys fairly. We do want to see you guys succeed. So if in the first month you don't, we're happy to see you come back, maybe at a cheaper price and try again.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. Let's see here.
So we're just gonna check this really quick.
And yeah, there is no profit targets at all. I do see a couple people speaking about that. We don't have any profit targets. So we do pay you out 10% of whatever you make, whatever that number is. There's no maximum, there's no cap or anything.
Using EAs, I see a question about that. If it's to trail your stop loss or protect your profits, it's fine. Anything that's going to enter a trade for you, we don't allow. We want to see you trading.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you're a good trader, I think funded programs, if you're a good trader, you can really, really leverage it and really make the most out of it. That's what I've told people all the time. If I said that, hey, listen, if you guys think you're consistent on your smaller accounts, it makes perfect sense to drop money, get a larger account and start getting those payouts. But if you're not consistent from the get-go, having a larger account will not make you profitable at all.
No,
because it's a big hit on your psychology too. When you run from a $500 account to a $100,000 account, those big numbers fluctuating, you're like, oh my God, what should I do? So yeah, I think it's.
So when someone, something we also offer, when someone's in our program, if we see, that after a couple months they're not profitable, that, they just keep putting money in, I will normally at that point reach out and do a one-on-one with them to go over their trading plan to see, if the program just might not be for them. At the end of the day, we're not unethically taking money. We don't want people who, just aren't doing well to continue in the program and keep feeding us money. That's not something we want to see. So yeah, that's another thing we do implement as well.
I'm a big advocate on that. I think some services out there that they kind of feed on people's greed and feed on people's ability to no, I have to do it. Just keep on dropping money, and man, one day you're gonna get your chance. One day you're gonna get your shot. So when that happens, I'm just I don't know if this business is meant for the customer or for the owner, but then there are businesses that are meant for the owners and for the people too.
Yeah, that's how we feel.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty good.
In that way, for sure.
Well, because at that point, it becomes gambling, and that's not something we're trying to promote. Yeah. And it happens a lot in our industry, as you know, people just gamble their money on these accounts. So.
Yeah, I think our industry is tainted. It's
Yeah.
because of some bad apples, man. Like there are so many doubts and misconceptions. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone has any other questions for us before we hop off.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess it should be good. We have the link in the description in the YouTube description. You can check them out. Check their page out. Finding talent, Forex tips. I mean, man, your page grew fast. There
Yeah.
was I saw one time it was like 80,000. I think a couple of months later, like 100. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
like one thing I really wondered about was like how are these ideas coming in fruition? Because it's just new idea every 2 days, and it just blew my mind.
Oh, it's not easy. I make all my own content too, so I actually like make the posts, so it's
Oh,
very
nice.
time consuming. I know some people outsource that. I haven't been able to let it go yet, so
Yeah, I know. Sometimes like guys, they approached me and they said, "Hey, we're gonna make art for you," and I'm like, in the past, I've had let make people art for me, but then it hasn't been up to my standards.
yeah,
It's been like I just don't like it this way, and then and like my whole logo, I made the logo myself because I couldn't trust anyone else to make the logo.
yeah. I'm like that too. It's hard to let stuff go. I'm just trying to look at some of the questions. Someone said, let's see some social distancing. She is my sister, so
Yeah. We're in our same bubble, so.
yeah. We're in our bubble. You do get to choose your broker on the funded account. I see that's the question. If you get more than one account, will they be added together? Yes. So you can do any tier. We only have the 25K and 100K on our website, so you have to email us if you want to do a different amount. You could do up to 300K.
Yeah.
So you can combine. You can do any combination. You can do 125. You can do 25, 75, 170.
Yeah.
Whatever you can come up with
In between 25 and 300. Yeah, we can make it happen.
Okay, so basically, I can open two accounts and combine them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty sick. Yeah, so let's take this one last question here. Talk about top-up fees. Are there any top-up fees?
Yeah, so every month we do give people the option to top up their account. So if at the end of the month you're not profitable, so let's say you started with 100K, you end your month with $95,000. Should you just choose at that point to pay the monthly fee, you're going to continue with the $95,000 just because we like to mirror it almost like to a real account. Nobody's going to top that up for you in real life, right? If you'd like, there's a small top-up fee that you can add to that, and we'll top it back up to 100K for you, so you can start fresh. That's all the top-up fee is.
Okay. So it's like, so if you go below 95, then obviously the count is done.
No, so the 10% max loss is based on the original balance. So that simply means that your account can never go below $90,000. The 5% daily loss is based on equity. So it's always going to be $5,000 every day, whether you start with 95,000, 100,000, 110, it's always 5,000. But should you open trades in the morning and they put you into profit, let's say $2,000, you now have $7,000 to lose for that day. So that one's based on equity, whereas the max loss is based on the original balance. So long as your account stays above $90,000, you're in the clear.
And guys, I do have a video breakdown on the website, so it's a lot more clear. I know when we're talking about it, it can get a little confusing, but I do a video and really break it down. So
with examples,
I'd watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I had to watch the video 4 times to really understand, because naturally I'm not very smart. Like it takes me a little while to grasp ideas. So I had to watch it like a couple of times to really understand what was happening before I came on here. Yeah,
No worries. It's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, what you guys up to like for the rest of the day here in the office?
Oh, we're a busy bunch today. I'm actually doing some hiring, so I have some interviews and.
I'll be on customer support all day.
She'll be on customer support. If you email, you'll be talking to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna get a lot of messages here after we leave. So.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, we want to hear you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. You took the time to come on a small stream here. We do the best we can.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Awesome, guys. Take care.
All right, we're
See
gonna
you
get
later.
going. All right, see you.
All right. I think that was a nice one. It's like when a guest comes to your house and when the guest leaves and everyone's like, oh, gossip, gossip, gossip. You remember when you were little, guests
Yeah.
would come to the house and then they would leave.
Yeah, man.
No, no, I think it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have people come on and actually speak about things and have the opportunity to ask questions and also present themselves. I think the maturity as you get older is you don't have to agree with their business model or what they're doing, but I mean, you can all be polite and you can also learn from exactly what happens. And I think if people have more questions, like you said, they have customer support, they have people that are going to check or that'll answer their emails, and you can make your own decision. The worst thing that you can do as a person is try and be ignorant and just say, well, that sucks or this sucks. I mean, there's no point of saying that then. There's no point of complaining about this is no good or that's no good. Just don't do it. Like, I mean, I don't need a funded account, so I don't really care if they're selling monkeys in a tree. Like, that's doesn't bother me. But I'm not going to sit here and insult them. I'm going to try and get answers for questions that people want to ask or that don't have the ability to ask, right? That's just me. I'm not going to insult them and say, well, the business is stupid. That's not my style. It's like, hey, I have a few questions. I think these are relevant to other people. Can you answer them? Yeah. And then people can make their own decisions.
Yeah, I think one really impressive thing was that these are like two ladies in a male-dominated industry taking the charge, right? That to me was something like, okay, this is really cool. It's something different, and it's awesome. Like it takes a lot of confidence to do what they're doing. So
Yeah.
so I really give props to that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't as a society or as a community even, you can't fault people for having profitable businesses or taking taking a business model and making it better or making money off of it. We have to get out of that attitude of, well, it's like when I hear people turn around and talk about magic keys. Well, all it is a keyboard with a macro. Well, yeah, I mean, but we didn't see you doing it. Like, who cares what all it is? It's the idea that nobody else was doing it and someone just decided to do it, and there's obviously a marketplace for it. There's somebody wants it, so you can't knock that. We have to get out of the attitude of knocking business models because we didn't think of it first. Like, it is what it is. I mean, if people don't want magic keys, don't use magic keys. If you're a programmer and you can code your own MetaTrader and you can put your own scripts in, do that too. Like, nobody's stopping you. It's just let people do what they feel that they can do, and if the business isn't correct, the market will dictate that. So that's, at the end of the day, people have to understand that the market always dictates if the business is successful or not successful. It's not people, it's the market. Two people that don't like it, that doesn't matter, but if the market wants it, the market gets it.
That's actually very true. That is actually very true. Like and the market is built on like collective people too, and if they like it, you're right. I mean, it's gonna prosper.
Yeah, like, you can't blame the market for liking something. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and I keep trying to tell people that and explain that to people is like, you can't fault people for making money. If somebody wants to buy bottled air and I sell bottled air for $30 a can, and there's millions of people buying my bottled air, you can't get mad at me because people are stupid for buying air that they can go outside and take the same air. Like, you can't fault me for that. I decided that one day I was going to bottle air from my house, and this is Uncle Ted's air, and you've decided you want to buy air from my house. That's your fault for buying it. It's not my fault for selling it. We have to get out of that that mindset of, well, this guy's doing this bad, and it's like, no, you're egging him on by making more purchases. Right? There you go, air.
Vitality Air for $52, man.
Yeah.
Holy!
God damn.
It's this whole concept is so. I mean, I don't even know what to say to this, man. This air is taken from Banff, Alberta. Alberta, Banff. That's from this air comes from.
But just imagine all the people that live in Alberta going, why are they spending $50 on that air when I can breathe it for free?
Oh, they got limited edition air too.
Um,
18,000. Signed
yeah,
by 2 Chainz. Signed by 2 Chainz.
I didn't know you could buy luxury air, but there was a Twitch streamer a while ago that was selling her bathwater,
Yeah,
and people
that's
were
right. I
hating.
remember that. Yeah, she made like 150,000 or something.
Yep, just selling jars of used bathwater.
And the thing that they have distributors, it shows you that people are buying it. When someone has distributors, look at this, man. India. Yeah, India needs Banff Air. You know what, Ted? Whenever someone comes up with a crazy idea, they don't understand there are millions of people who will buy that idea.
Yeah, I always say that, and I don't know, maybe it's the generation now that's come after me, but man, I can't hate people that are successful. Like you can't. I mean, like yesterday I deleted my Instagram story like 6 times before I posted it because I really wanted to write something and say, look around. You have people that follow other people, like, and you have people doing things that other people do, and they think that these people are gods, but then the gods that they're worshiping on Instagram, as a god, I would take a step back and realize like what is the quality that actually cares about what I'm doing, like where are they coming from? Like I look at a lot of people post stories and you can see like there's a few people that post like 10,000 stories a day, and it's all about praising how good they are. And then I look and I'm like, who are those people praising you, and is that something that you should be proud of? Like that's like me going into high school and talking about finance, and then the high school students going, man, this guy's a genius. Well, of course I'm a genius. You're in high school. Once you get a full-time job, I'm going to sound like an idiot. Like
Yeah.
so I always look at that, and I was going to post that yesterday, but I didn't because I didn't want to ruffle feathers. But it's just like, when you're playing basketball at elementary school and you're an NBA star, like even if you watch Rutgers court in Brooklyn, and you watch like Kevin Durant come and play there, like on YouTube, the guy knocked down 60 points. He's an NBA superstar and he's playing street ball. Like, did you not expect him to dominate the game? And people are like, wow, that was amazing. It's like, well, I mean, the talent is good, but it's not NBA talent. Like, let's be realistic. So I mean, I just look at stuff like that, and it's like, I always get a good chuckle because people post like, oh, thank you, you helped me so much, you saved my life, you've opened my eyes. And it's like, yeah, but if your eyes were closed to begin with, I could have told you that cars have 4 wheels, and you'd have been amazed. Like, so let's figure out who our audience is, and let's figure out who's talking to the audience. And if we evaluate that, you'll realize that sometimes you have the smartest of the dumb leading the dumb. So of course the smartest dumb person is going to sound brilliant to dumb people. So that's sort of what I was thinking the other day. I was just like, wow, social media is very interesting.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of characters since I've been on social media.
Yeah.
Lots of characters.
Yeah, it was just interesting. I had a good laugh. Yeah, guys, it was almost like almost like an epiphany yesterday, because I'm watching all these stories and all these feeds, and people post stories every 5 minutes. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, why are you posting every 5 minutes? What does this do for you as a person, and what is the message you're trying to bring? And then I start to look at it, and I'm just like, wow, there's like hundreds of people posting every 2 minutes. Like they spent the entire day on social media.
This is what's happening. Look at me, right? So let's say I'm that person who's posting every 5 minutes. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
Just like for a third person, they'd be like, what's this guy doing? Oh no, just trying to feel better on social media. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it was just interesting to me. I was really looking at that, and I was like, because I really study human behavior. I'm very good at that. I think I've always enjoyed studying human behavior and human psychology, just because when I played poker, you had to be really acute when it came to learning people's patterns and understanding why they do stuff, because then you can anticipate what they're going to do. So social media is very easy to understand because people's patterns never really change. And when you understand that, you can then drill into deeper and say, well, why are they doing what they're doing? And then when I look at it, it's rather interesting. You sit back and you're like, wow, okay, if that's what floats your boat.
You can read my mind. Oh.
All right.
How do you feel about the bearish break of the 1 hour? Would you wait for the close to enter? Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. I not focused on the charts at all today. I mean, GJ is ranging, got the support to break. Gold is heading towards 1809. It's approaching over there. US 30 is also breaking up. I mean, haven't really focused on the chart since we got on the stream, really. I have a question about Euro. No, New Zealand Euro. I think it's Euro New Zealand. Why does New Zealand Euro look messy? Because I guess you're looking at the wrong pair. Let's take a look here. New Zealand Euro. Yeah, it looks like it's going down, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to find New Zealand Euro in your chart. So we're going to try Euro New Zealand. See? See this magic? New Zealand Euro and Euro New Zealand are the complete opposite of each other. So, I love poker. Are you on Poker Stars? Let's go, bro. Look for Kraken stacks. That's my ID.
Get off my pipe. Okay.
Ooh, looks like GJ's trying to break down here on a Friday. See, one thing about Fridays is that when the weekly candles are coming down to a close, either they continue pushing or they retrace. And if we break below 134.390 and looking at the weekly candle, if this is really doing a fake out here on the top side, because if we see this is a resistance here, then we should continue pushing down. I mean, at least to 134. Maybe then next week we can continue moving down towards 131. Because this is where in June the monthly candle made a big wick, right? If you look on the monthly candle, this is where it made a huge wick up, and it couldn't close above 135, 400, 500, and close back below. So I mean, if the second half of July monthly goes bearish, I think we're going to continue moving down. Yeah, I think that makes sense in my head. And I mean, obviously to go up, I think we'll need to break above 135, 500 at this area here. Who wakes up hating on females who are keeping it real? I'm confused. There are a lot of people who, well, I'm not going to get into it. The stream is more interesting than social media. I think this is the collective of the social media that comes here. This is the cream, the social media cream that comes here on the stream. We got smart people, we got the not so smart people, we got people from the gulag, we got guys from New York and Miami.
Cherry on top.
Yeah.
I just closed Dow Jones right now.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell us, man? Making money alone over there.
I sent the signal to the chat. Yeah, I don't like it right now. This 30-minute candle should pull back a little bit to retest that previous support, that previous resistance. So that's why I closed. But I'm not gonna do anything else with the US 30 for now. I'm gonna wait for 9:45, 10 a.m.
I saw the breakout on the S&P also, but I'm not taking any trades today. and GJ doesn't look appetizing. So I want to call it a day. Goodbye, guys.
Okay,
Safe.
goodbye,
Okay,
Mac.
Mac.
Weekend.
See you,
And
Wonder.
by the
You.
way, I'm very proud of you, Mac.
Why?
You stay quiet this morning.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
yes.
I was a little nervous, you know. The day
Nervous.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, that makes
this
sense.
guy
That makes sense.
nervous.
my Mac game was a little weak today.
Mac,
Couldn't pull it out.
Mac needs
Yeah.
to start hitting the gym again to start
Oh
Damn.
yeah, man.
My confidence.
feeling low in testosterone over there today.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I got a girlfriend and can't be doing.
Oh, congratulations.
another one.
No, don't say
That'll be like the
that.
third one in a month. Nah, I'm out.
Nah.
Bye.
I have a girlfriend.
Hopefully I
Hey,
don't get
ladies, I
told.
have a girlfriend. So sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I
Carlos.
can't talk right now.
Yeah, give me a. I'll see you when I'm single again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, man.
Max started blushing. He turned off this video.
Oh my.
Oh wow, this Dragon Euro New Zealand is just running and pumping. Yeah, I think if your GBP is heading down, I think we should see GJ is. Oh yeah, look at that, man. It's just running a train. Yeah, GJ is gonna break down. Yeah, we're coming down to 134. This is the break. 134. When's the guest on? I think you're too late today. Yeah, this is the gulag here. No top wick Freaky Friday. No, this means that there's no momentum to go up. No top wick here means there's no volume to go up, so it's just gonna continue dropping down.
Raj, I think you're right. If gold does break above gold, I think could probably go to 1813 or 1813 today.
Oh,
If people are in buys, once we break this resistance on the hour, we got a nice move up to around 1810 to 1813. So if you're in buys for gold, I think you're good for a while. Once it breaks above 1810, I think you're off to the races. So if you got in on this hour candle, you actually got a really good entry. So have fun. It's gonna fly. And the reason why I say that too is because when you look to the left, there's some things that strike my eye. You have essentially, obviously, this section over here is being mirrored. Then I would say something like this would be mirrored, and then eventually over here would be mirrored again. All you have to do is, once again, look at where the bodies of a lot of the big candle moves are. That will sort of give you a little bit of confidence that, as we break through, once again, this area over here being consolidation, right, which is the zone that Raja marked out. Once we break out, you have big candle move opportunities, so you might find that you break all the way through. So once we get to 1810, you may want to evaluate how you are with your profits and if it makes sense for you to continue. But after that, 1813, 15 may be a good target at that point. And especially if you've noticed over the last maybe 2 months, Fridays have been really good moves for gold. I don't know the rationale behind that, but if you look on your Friday charts, if you go back and back test, this is one of the things that you should be reviewing for Fridays as an example. If you go back and look at gold on a Friday, the last few weeks, we've always had major breakouts. There's been a lot of big moves with gold. So if you want to anticipate that again, you might find you get the same thing that happens here. So keep that in mind. These are just little things that I've noticed, and what I do is I make a note of them, knowing that Friday there was a big move on gold. Don't ask me how many times it's happened or why it happens. I don't know, but it's just something I've noticed in the last few months. So you can add that to your opportunity and say, hey, I'm going to try and take advantage of that. If I've seen the last 3 Fridays there's been big pushes, whether it's been up or down, I could probably try and capitalize on that. If I trade gold regularly, that's what I'd be looking at.
Wow, man, this thing is still running a train over here. This will continue dropping.
Yeah.
Oof. This is an example. Wicks get filled on GJ. Yes. And yes, I did participate in these sells.
Neither. I missed the move.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I closed too early over here. Man, this week I started increasing my lot sizes, and at first it was really, really scary, But then I looked at it, I'm like, well, it's the same thing as, dropping 10 lots on 100,000 is the same thing as 1 lots on, like a $10,000 account, or like a 10-cent lot on a $1,000 account.
Raja, I took this trade when it break the wick of that. This
one?
No.
This one.
Just on the left. Yeah, and I guess little above, and I saved the 8 at 8 pips. I closed the half,
Oh,
and
nice.
the rest is running.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you have a very good entry then.
Yeah, that was something we were talking about earlier before the questions before the guests. This area over here, once we broke out of that, that's a nice trade, because now you might find the next candle pops up over here somewhere and then continues down to that zone. So that's actually really good once we leave this area here.
Wow, where's Euro GBP? Oh, Euro GBP still has some room to go up. When this month started, my whole bias, overall my bias is bearish on GJ monthly. I think in the rest of the month we will turn bearish. I can see that happening, unless we don't start ranging, like above 134. Once we break below 134, it's 100% coming down. We're coming down to 131. Clean candle. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, I see that for the next week's candle, if that's the case, unless this is a booby trap candle for the week.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So what I'd be looking to take sells below here for next week.
Yeah, if it's the booby trap candle, then the next one we're definitely either we're heading down to 131 or we're heading to 139.
Yep. So I'm taking buys above here, and I'm taking sells below here. I'm not playing in this range next week, because the weekly candle will, like you said, will either break up or it'll break down, and then that'll be the majority of the move. So you have all this to grab, or you have all this to grab. Don't worry about this middle stuff. This is no good. I mean, if you're already in sells in GJ, it makes sense. You can just probably hold and hope that it continues to go down and manage your stop. But if you're looking to take new entries, I think next week you have to wait to see what happens there, to be honest.
Yeah, because the daily candle may pull back and do some stuff too. Let's take a look at this chart here. Ooh, what's this? Buy when it crosses the high. Okay, makes sense. Or even if you see if the 30-minute is creating a support here, then I think you could also get some buys too. Let's take a look here.
Roger, I closed my 75%. So what do you suggest? What should be my maximum for the 25% runner?
I don't know. That's up to you.
But as a mentor, I would like you to suggest me something.
Well, I mean, it's up to you how much you want to let it run. Like, you want to let it run maybe the whole 25%, you want to close half. I mean,
uh,
that's
well, I would like to run that 25%. And what I want is I maybe want 200 pips, 300 pips, 400 pips.
okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so do it.
so then basically you let it run at stop loss at break even, and if you get 400 pips, that's perfect.
Yeah.
If you get stopped out, you get stopped out, right?
No, yeah, that's why I was asking. As a mentor, you should suggest me. Should I wait for 400 pips or any other target?
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
but
Like,
nobody can help you with that. That's like saying, "Are you hungry? How much do you want to eat?" I don't know how much you're gonna
Exactly.
eat.
You're gonna go to a buffet.
Yeah, are you gonna go to buffet? Do you want steak? Like, you said you're hungry. Like,
I mean,
and then you get sick, and then you turn around and blame your mentor because you ate too much. But you're like, well, you said you were hungry, so right. Ideally, what you should be looking at is how did you perform this week? Like, what did you do this week in terms of your goals? Like, if you had specific profit targets, you had pip targets, and then today should be something where you don't lose. So put yourself in a position where, as long as I don't lose today, I've done well. Friday should not be a day where you're trying to make super gains or you're trying to save yourself from losses. Today should be a bonus day. Today should be, okay, I have a profitable trade. Let's see if this can run. If it runs 40 pips, great. If it does, if it doesn't, that's okay too. Like, that's how you should be
For
really
this week,
approaching
I'm
today.
up around 20% for this week. It's a very good week for me.
Okay.
Including this trade, I'm up 20%.
Okay, so then now you know that you're already up 20%. You've had a great week. This should be a bonus trade for you. So you move your stop to break even, and you say, okay, let's see how long this can run. This is a target for me. What you should be talking about is you should say, okay, where is a good target based on the current structure of the market, right? So we have, Raja's marked out 134, 140. You can say 133, 900. Those could be your targets, and then what you do is put your take profit there and put your stop loss at break even or just above break even, so you have profit, and then now you have a stress-free trade where you're either going to hit your stop loss in profit, or you're going to hit your take profit. There's one or the other now at this point. So don't necessarily say, like, how should I leave my trade running? You should look for targets and say, hey, does this target make sense based on current market structure, based on the timing of the market, where we are in the market, how the daily candle looks, and then we can say, yeah, probably there's a high percentage chance that it will reach that target before it hits your stop loss. But then you now have both potential outcomes, and you're comfortable with both ideas at that point, if that makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.
yeah, that was a very good answer.
I learned from Raja, so I learned to be more patient. Raja taught me patience.
What's this? I was forecasting price will continue to go down. Hesitates, there were a lot of wicks, so you hesitated. It's like I'm selling in the middle of the range, okay. Yeah, so basically you missed the trade here, right? So if you missed the trade, now you can kind of like see that, okay, so you basically had a zone down over here when essentially it should have been down here because you're watching where the candles were closing, right? So you see candles were closing, we had a support form here, candle closes, candles closing here, then this candle was closing right here. So I guess if you missed this trade, you always got to look back and see how you could have entered the trade. Like if my weekly, if your bias was bearish, perfect, then maybe a break of this low, you could have entered a trade with a stop up over here, or if you broke this low over here, you could have had a stop right above here, right? So now this is what you're creating an idea in your mind that, okay, maybe this was a entry idea I could have taken on, and now you should look at this with excitement that, okay, this is going to happen again, maybe next week, next month, and if it's going to happen again, I'm going to remember this and then I'm going to execute on it. And then the more I see this happen, the more I start executing, the more I'm going to have like some sort of a statistical probability built up that, okay, I've taken this specific trade, let's say 5 times. How many times has it worked? Should I keep on continuing to take this trade? For some people, when they're new and you take impulse trades, they mostly don't work out, and they mostly don't work out because you haven't seen it enough, or you haven't experienced this enough, or you haven't really worked on it to say that, okay, does it work or not enough. So before doing that, I think it's going to be really hard. But I think the most important thing is to just really start anticipating that, okay, I saw it broke the low, it continued down, there was a range there. So let's see if it happens again, see it the next time. Maybe you see this happen 2 times next week, so you just sit out and just watch. The week after that, you see it happen the 3rd time, you maybe hit and watch. And then now you're sitting at, let's say, on the 29th, Wednesday, 29th, you see it and you decide, okay, you know what? I've seen it happen a couple times over the last week. Maybe this is the time I'm going to execute on it. And then you start executing on it.
I want to ask Raja something. Why didn't I follow the previous week break? Because it was just touching the support, and I had a doubt like in impulse, it may go back.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would have had that issue as well, because price came down to this wick, and then there could have been a fear that, okay, it might start retracing because it's support here. I think you were right when you entered the trade when this wick broke right here, because now you had much higher confirmation, right? And at the same time, if you look on the 4-hour, I think it made sense on the 4-hour as well to now, so let's just mark this area. Let's mark this wick right over here, and let's go to the 4-hour. And if you go to the 4-hour, then it kind of makes sense that, okay, if it's coming down and it's breaking this first support, it makes much higher sense that, okay, it will continue to fill this wick here and then continue on towards, the 4-hour support. So I think you're being safe, and there's nothing wrong in that. You were being safe. Maybe next time when it breaks the first low, maybe at that time you're going to say, okay, you know what? It's breaking the first low. Maybe I want to enter with a smaller risk because I've seen this happen before. Not sure if that makes sense or not, but I think it kind of makes sense. Mostly it's just the waiting, waiting for the next time for it to happen. That's where, most of your time is spent in just waiting. He is Roger now. Oh yeah, Roger now. Yeah, the time is coming close to end the stream over here. Yeah, I think if you guys have really liked the stream, just give a like because it spreads the word for a lot of people, and a lot of people gain a lot of value from this. I do think with the new hour opening, it should continue down towards 134, GJ. Just waiting for USD CAD to break out of the range. Sells look good. USD CAD. Sells look good. I think USD CAD is ranging here. You got a support. You got this resistance. If we measure this range, this is a 15 pip range. This range is smaller than GJ, so I think USD CAD is going to have a hard time breaking out of this range. It'll need some news event to break out of the range.
Roger, just one question. So on GJ, you were saying you think with the new hour it will continue to push down. It's the start of the new 4-hour as well. So would you not expect it to retrace, create a resistance, and then come back down to test the low?
See, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. So what can happen is either it can continue pushing down, or it can come up to do a retest. So now that's the whole idea. Now you have to say that, okay, what's the probability that it's going to continue down? Then it's going to retrace, right? So when I'm looking at it to say that, okay, there's a higher probability that it will come down and tap this before retracing. So that's like something that I'm anticipating based on what I've seen before. Because sometimes, the 4-hour candle, when it starts, it continues in the momentum, and then it starts making the wick afterwards. Or sometimes I've seen it just retrace before then moving down. So what I've seen is a game of odds. I think odds of it coming down are much higher in the start of the candle than to, like, retrace. Because as the new hour is going to start, now we're going to start to move into another high volume time, which is going to be NYC Open. And I think that volume is going to be enough to continue pushing price down towards this, support here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't. I'm done for the week. Not planning on taking any trades, but I was just curious as to the difference and if it's because prices and momentum stuff. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
At the same time, like, if someone's trying to take a sell here now, I think you've missed the opportunity. Because the opportunity was somewhere when price was like, breaking these lows here, which was impulse, and some people don't know about that yet. That's fine. But like taking a sell here, now here's another thing. Even though, I personally think it can continue moving down, even though someone takes a sell here, and if they do win this trade, now you gotta ask yourself that, okay, if I keep on taking trades in the middle of this, momentum, how often am I, supposed to win those trades? How often will price continue moving? So I think that's where most people get things wrong, is because, now if someone takes a sell, you're essentially selling a low, anticipating it to continue down. So that becomes a risky trade in itself. But if you have a runner running from, let's say, from the 300 area or from 360 area, then you can say, okay, I have a runner running and I think it's going to go down. If it goes down, then it's awesome, but if it's not, then that's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, no problem. We need a retest for a sell. Yeah, so people who are not in sells, they're probably looking for retests. So while you're looking for retests, you're basically letting the next candle open. Next can just go down or continue on to retest. But I think it's going to continue pushing bearish. What makes a valid retest? So what can you get your best entry off? Yeah, so basically, you'd want candle to come up and create like a resistance, create like a bearish candle, which will give you some sort of confirmation that we should continue moving bearish.
Hey Raja.
Hey.
I just wanted to ask, you see the green candle here? I entered on the break of that week. I just wanted to ask, wouldn't it be safer to enter on that, or we could have entered on the previous weeks? So you see the 2 weeks that are on the same level.
This one? Oh, this one and this one?
Yeah, so.
See, now once you start, here's the thing, right? When people start waiting for like stronger confirmations, you're basically losing out on some of the profits, right? So if you're really testing impulse trades, taking a trade once it broke this wick, now your stop would have been much smaller and your profit target would have been much bigger, right? But if you would have entered based on this wick, now you're really eating some of your profits out. Now your range gets smaller, your stop loss also gets bigger. Plus, you're now entering in the middle of this range here, so it gets a little bit risky as well.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. It's just to be safe. Like whenever you're looking for entries, aim to get good entries. If you think that price has already left an area of a good entry, then that's possibly not a trade, and it's really recommended not to chase the trade. But at the same time, if you think that, okay, this is where normally, whenever you're thinking about taking an entry and you're scared and hesitant, I think 80% of the time, that's the exact point where you should be entering. but then you have this confidence issue. You have this, like, something goes in your mind. You're like, okay, I'm not sure whether I should enter at this point or not. But even though you should be, I think you should be entering, like, a smaller position just to build up that confidence a little bit.
I think also too, people once again aren't planning their trades. So we spoke about this earlier today, and this is exactly what we said: is we had to leave this area here. We had to leave this area here. And if you go back and watch the replay, we talked about taking trades out of this zone here or out of this area here. If you had planned for that accordingly and placed, a pending order, or you'd watched on the smaller time frame for this candle, you would have executed. A lot of people are struggling because they're seeing this move now and they're confused on why it happened. The reason why you're confused is because you weren't planning for this move to happen at all. If you were planning for it, you would have seen it materialize, and you've been watching on the smaller time frames and said, hey, if we do start to break down, this is a rejection up here. We're now starting to break down. My anticipation is now with the 8 o'clock hour, which is the North American currency market open, that maybe we will continue. So I will watch then on my 15-minute or my 5-minute and find an entry point here, my stop being up above over here, and then I'm taking the trade down here, because essentially your stop is going to be this area here. This is where your stop loss is going to be, and then now your take profit is down over here. And at this point, your trade would have been break even, or you would have had your stop loss and profits. The toughest thing for people to understand is you're just not planning the trade, and now you're asking all these what if questions. It's because you were never going to take this trade to begin with. You have to say that. It's the same thing when price gets over to here, right? So price hits this take profit area over here. We can see that there's consolidation over here. We look on the higher time frames now and say, okay, how can I take an entry over here to get to my next target over here? What am I looking for over in the left, and how do I plan that trade on multiple time frames? When you start doing that more often, these trades come to you naturally, because this is what you're preparing for. You can't look at a candle move now and say, well, would it have made sense to do this? Would it have made sense to do that? It's like we didn't know this candle existed yet when we were doing the analysis. Like, we don't know what is going to happen over in this area here. We can only plan for it based on looking to the left, saying, hey, this would be a good entry point, or this would be a good exit point, and then we start executing at that level. So you really got to get used to planning out your trades more and anticipating, what do I think is going to happen in this section of the chart over here. Before we see these candles over here, what am I looking for, right? What am I looking for? I'm looking for either a break above this level over here or a break below this level over here. Where do I find those breaks? I look on my smaller time frames, and I use my higher time frame as confluence to say, okay, 4 hour is bearish. Now I'm going to look at my smaller time frames. I see a bit of problem over here with consolidation, but I think with momentum, we should continue moving down to over here. If we make it to this level over here, I may take profits, just because I know I'm never going to be 100% accurate with my zone. So I'll do something of that nature. That's what you have to get used to doing at that point. And now you see the trade taking off now in the new hour. You can say, okay, perfect. I'll wait for this candle to develop a little bit more, and then I'll start placing my stop now. Instead of up from over here, this was my stop loss 1 in profits. Now I'm going to move my stop loss over here once this candle here matures a bit and starts driving down, and then I can manage my trade accordingly at that point.
Yeah, I think it's going to continue moving bearish now. Boom, boom, boom.
I think so too.
Someone can ask, well, how do you know it's something I've seen before happening? I've seen it happen more often than not, so it's based on what I've seen happen more times. Can someone please check your New Zealand and your JPY? Um, yeah, if you send a chart, we'll take a look at it. But honestly, like you said it as if they're like light fuse or something. Can you please check the fuse? Can you please check the chart?
I got no power.
Yeah, my chart has no juice.
I mean, euro is gaining strength across the board. So, yeah, every euro pair is gonna be pumping.
Yeah. I think you can have really good short opportunities once this 1 hour breaks the low of the previous 1 hour on Euro JPY. Coming down. Whatever.
Meh.
How often do you have losing weeks? I have not had a losing week in 2 years. I've had losing months. I don't have. I think you can have losing weeks if you're swing trading. Yeah, like if you're holding trades over a couple days, you can have a losing week. But if you're holding trades over a couple of minutes, you know, like 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, it's really hard to have a losing week. Yeah, can I check the gold fuse? Yeah, I think gold fuse is going to continue up to fill this wick over here. This is a perfect example of a booby trap candle, this candle here. Gold is going to continue up over here. This is a booby trap candle because this can make people think that next candle will continue to drop. But in reality, this candle is just a retest for the next candle to continue going up. Knock on wood. Should continue moving bullish. I guess other than that, I think we had a very good session here today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. We had guests on. We talked about GJ ranging and then the sells that happened. I think it can continue moving down, but yeah, Kervin Papa.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, probably gonna come to Miami in November.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a family vacation.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. We're trying to book from Mexico because Mexico has buy one get one free right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
man. No one's going there, you know.
Yeah, this is scary, to be honest. But yeah, man, it's gonna be. November is really nice month in here because it's nice weather. It's not that
Yeah.
hot, so
Hurricane season.
we're gonna have fun.
It's hurricane season.
it's
No,
hurricane
not
season.
really. I mean,
It's not too bad.
it's not too bad.
Come on, man. It's a hurricane.
Come on, Ted. Come on.
It's just a little hurricane. It happens every year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Things get flooded.
I have a bunker here, so Raja will be safe.
Nice. All right, everybody. Our next live session is going to be in Mexico somewhere in October. Yeah, look at this, man. $1,000. Cancun. $1,000 per adult. That's that's nothing.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. $1,200. $1,200. 1,300. Man, and these places they normally run for like 1,800. You know, 1,800, 2,000. Yeah, you guys gotta get on this, cause there's no virus in Mexico. I mean,
Don't worry about the virus, man.
because I mean, if you look at this way, the airports, the cleanest places right now. Airports, hotels, resorts, airplanes, buses, trains, cleanest places you can be there. You know, because the company running all these big joints, they're like the last thing they want is someone to catch a virus and get sued. You know, so they'll probably make sure that everything is like super clean and on point.
Could you really sue somebody for getting corona?
Oh man, people sue people for their dogs barking at them.
Yeah, but I mean, you're told not to travel, and you travel. You're sort of putting that your own liability, right?
Yeah, because the airline, they did not do a better job at, you know, keeping the airplane sanitized. Like, they should be keeping it safe. There's a Karen out there somewhere who's going to do that. And you got to be on your toes.
There's a Karen out there.
Yeah, Karen's going to come along. I'm going to sue the airplane industry because I got coronavirus.
Yeah.
Did you hear what's happening though? People that have got COVID now they're experiencing like aftershocks, like in terms of like their health. Like their health never goes back 100%.
Oh.
Yeah, there's people talking about that.
Oh wow, that's I'm not sure if that's really happening or if that's like something made up or something like wrestling or something.
Wrestling.
You should never know, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have really overblown. I mean, now it's the hot topic, right? But then they were saying that a lot of the cases are overstated and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I could see like aftershocks happening for someone whose health is not that good to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I figured, right? Like I can't see someone who's healthy, like I don't know. It's just I don't want to get into debates because people get all all go nutty. So I mean, it's just
Someone said fear porn. Yeah, that's probably.
At the end of the day, wash your hands. Don't touch your face constantly, and do your thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you stay clean. Don't be a dirtbag, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And drink tequila. That's gonna help.
Drink tequila, kill the virus in the throat. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to somebody yesterday, one of our family friends, and they were saying that they've been in home for the last 4 or 5 months, and usually, like they have a 5-year-old, right? And they're like the 5-year-old always gets the flu or some sniffles here and there. And they're like they've been staying home and nothing has happened. They're staying clean. I'm like, see, like you stay clean, nothing's gonna happen to you. But if you go around and touch people you don't want to touch or do things you don't want to do, then obviously you're gonna get sick, and then it's gonna get blown out of proportions. I know people that got the C word, they were healed, but they still feel tired all the time. Yeah. They want to force us to get vaccines and be traced. Oh yeah, I think if they really want to force vaccines, they'll force vaccine through travel. Like if you want to fly somewhere, you can only fly if you got the vaccine. Yeah, that's how it's gonna go. Trying to get in touch with the Illuminati, see how I can join the forces. I think Ted filled out a Illuminati form once. I think it's still in the waiting list or something. I don't know what the form was about. Kermit, your voice doesn't match you. Yes, it doesn't match him at all.
Oh, Lord.
Trust.
I don't know, man.
Man, first time I saw you, I was surprised by how tall you were. You're like 6'1". I'm like, damn, he's as tall as me.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought you were taller than me. Because I met Ted like 6 months before I met you. So, man, Ted is another kind,
Yeah, he's long, man. He's not
oh, man.
He's pretty long. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, that is the giant.
Yeah.
That's 6'4". Like I'm like 6'2". It's like holy crap, that's what 6'4" looks like.
You're 6'2".
Yeah, I'm 6'2". Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's good to have nice tall friends, like people my height. It's nice if he's good. Growing up, man, I was the tallest. And I was like, yeah, I'm the tallest. I can slap around each and every one of you. But now I got friends who are taller than me. Like, oh, shit. Alright, what's this? Drug cartels kill people over breaking their sea rules in Colombia. Damn. Drug cartel is going haywire there in Colombia. Um, yeah, so I guess gold's gonna continue moving, and I think this is the end of the road here for me for this week. Took some really risky trades today. At the end of the day,
We had a really good week, to be honest.
really good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really. I haven't had this week since March, April. June was just bullshit.
Yeah, I think so too.
Why do streamers need to avoid saying the C word? Because YouTube, it doesn't like it. Yeah, so we stopped using it. That's why Joe Rogan went to Spotify, because he was getting penalized and saying the C word. So Spotify said, "Well, buddy, you come over here, we'll give you $100 million deal, and you can say whatever you want." Man, he made it now. He made it after like what 6-7 years of like streaming every day. Finally, someone came up and said, "Hey, listen, Joe. Like you've been doing this for a long time. You have like millions of people watching you, listening to you. We'll give you $100 million deal. How about that?" And Joe Rogan's like, "Well, better than the shit ad revenue from YouTube. Let's do it." That's done. Why does it keep saying 200 million? Oh, 200 million. Shit, even better. What do you think a new trader should take advantage of this funded program of your guests? I think if you're a new trader, you should really see if you are honestly consistent on your account. If you're consistent on your account and you want to make some extra money, I think that's when you should be going with the funded account route. But if you're not consistent yet, I think there's no need to go to the funded account thing. There's no use. You're just gonna waste your money. So it's a good thing that they came on. They talked about the platform. I think I approached FTMO. I approached 2 other companies, and they both said that no, we're not gonna come on. And I think the reason why was because there were some hard questions asked, and most companies, they don't feel comfortable answering hard questions because maybe I don't know what's going on, but I think it was really good. From what I understood was that you could get a demo account, and it's still you're paying for a demo account, but then there are like small restrictions. So then if you do profit, those funds, they go into a live account for you to trade. That's what I got out from it. So in a way, if you have if you're trying to get a funded account for like $100,000, you pay like 600, and if you profit on that account, you can get that in the live account, or like you can have that as a withdrawal as well. That's what I got from it. No test, no rules, yeah, it's just like the whole transparency aspect I like. Of course there's some business practices that we don't know, because it's part of the industry, but apart from that, it was just like I think it was really good, open and honest discussion we had. Raja gonna be a big boy as if he do that cool. Oh, do what? Well, I guess this is the end of the road here. Hope everyone had a great week. If you had a bad week, just spend the weekend going over your losses to see how you could have gotten a winning trade and whatever. And gold has actually filled this wick over here, so this is a booby trap candle. I think we should continue moving bullish with the NYC Open as well. So, all right, everybody, take care.
Hey, Raja, take care,
Thank
man.
you, thank you.
Shukriya.
Have a great weekend. Shukriya.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Don't go on any unnecessary benders, mate. keep it nice. Keep it nice and civil in it.
I feel like Monty.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Cheers everywhere.
Monty's in jail.
Take it easy, guys.
For-
He's in a good life.
This is a gulag for 3 days. So we're not gonna hear anything about Monty for 3 days.
Oh. Hope Monty fights the gulag and comes out of it.
Survive, yes.
Oof,
Trust.
look at goals, man. Wow, what a booby trap candle.
Yeah, man.
Always the 8:30 candle always does that.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
Breaking hearts on a Friday.
Damn.
Yeah,
See?
people trying to sell gold don't do that.
Yeah, now that's why it's a booby trap. Yeah, that's a booby trap.
Yeah, Jivan said it yesterday. It's really hard to try to sell gold, you know, because you never know when it's gonna retrace all the way back up, because the sentiment is bullish. So you cannot fight with, you know, big institutions.
Well, I mean, we said it. I mean, as long as we didn't break below. I mean, this 30-minute candle here, this always happens. Like you'll see that 30-minute candle happen like that often, where it looks like a booby trap candle and it just holds, and that's where people get hit hard, because they try and think that it is going down now, and all the other time frames point to bullish. So I mean, we're right. It'll probably go to 1813. It'll tap out there. So you'll find that there'll be a little bit of movement around here, and then it'll spike up probably by the end of this hour. I think we may probably get to, or at least by 11 o'clock. So over the next 2 hours, I think we should get to 1813. To be honest.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice run. Yep. Probably gonna get messages about the chart when it goes up there.
And yeah, thank God I closed US 30.
Yeah.
It came back all the way back down to the.
Yeah, but US 30 did the exact same thing, so I assume that US 30 will fly back up in the next hour as well.
Yeah.
That 30-minute candle just creating consolidation.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to close expecting this pullback and avoiding drawdown, and I'm gonna be waiting for the 10 a.m. candle.
Yep, agreed.
Ted, this is a question for you. It's a very off-topic question, but whilst we're on gold, one of my friends actually mentioned silver to me earlier this week, and how much space it's got to go up and how small its growth has been in comparison to gold. I just want to know your thoughts on that. And he was mentioning how sort of JP Morgan control the whole price play of it.
Well, gold, or silver itself usually moves behind gold in terms of correlation. So you might find that it'll push after the fact. But the other problem is silver doesn't have the same backing that gold does. So that's the only difference. But when you see gold move, there's a correlation with silver moving. But I don't think the move, I mean, as an example, like if gold moved $1, silver wouldn't move $1. Like it doesn't do that. Like gold has to move $10 and then silver moves $1, as an example, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because he was mentioning how they're almost 100 times different, and how there's such a big gap between them, and gold, silver needs to almost catch up slightly, just so there's not so much disproportion.
That's right.
That was a quick catch on gold, right, Raja?
Yeah, that was a great move, man. Like 45 pip move. Right. Booby trap candle to
on
the
that
win.
goal right now.
Oh, 5-minute candle.
Yeah.
Damn.
5-minute candle. You would have gotten in at the beginning of this 15-minute candle, almost just before that. What you could have done is you would have had 5-minute candle. This is what I saw. You have this area here, you have this support here, and then the idea is as soon as we break above this area here, we're moving up, and that then correlates with the higher time frame going into the next half hour.
Amen. Yes, exactly.
Ooh, thank you, Raja. Was about to take sells in gold the moment you said it's a booby trap. And
yeah, the moment you said it's a booby trap, I took buys. Yeah.
Someone's saying check GJ for a retest. Man, I think you should just check your trade history and call it a day.
And US 30 is doing what we said it was happening.
Ooh, another booby trap here.
Yeah, so US 30 had the more obvious booby trap. That's just a consolidation on the 30 minutes. So all you have to do is map out your range. And you're good.
Yeah. My man likes booby traps. We'll give you booby traps on US 30 and booby traps on gold. And
I've seen this happen so many times on US 30. It does this huge retracement at 8:30, and then it just plows back up at 9:30 it dips, and then 10 it just takes off again. It's so standard. It's so weird the way that US 30 moves.
And to be honest, sometimes it's scary because it's simple, it's easy to trade, but sometimes it's scary because you see the things and you can't believe it how easy it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. The struggle with US 30 with me is it's so blatantly obvious that what it's doing. It's like yesterday when it started dropping, it just started dropping, and I was paralyzed. Or sorry, on Wednesday I was paralyzed because my bias was buy because of the sentiments that we had in the market, but it just kept selling off. So I got stuck. Like I couldn't take the trade. Meanwhile, it dropped like 300 points. Like it would have been a huge trade. But when you get your bias, like when your bias is you're stuck in your bias, you're paralyzed. Like that's the one thing as a trader that that's my weakness is if I have a bias for a pair, I can't trade against my bias. I just won't take the position. Like I'll be wrong with my bias. I won't take a position, but I can't trade against my original my original idea. It just doesn't. I can't pull the trigger because I haven't done enough. Like I've planned so much for one side of the trade that I can't now switch suddenly. Like it throws me off because it seems like I'm chasing money now at that point. So I just let the trade go, and it moved like 300 points. I just watched it. I'm like, man, this was so obvious, but I was looking for buys and I just couldn't pull the trigger on sells. So I just let it go and whatever. Some people made lots of money. I didn't do anything.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, and people that talk about that kind of stuff, these are things that I struggle with. There's nothing wrong with struggling with those thoughts. You just don't chase the trade. Don't execute that. Like watch the trade leave and then build up your confidence in the sense that like what I'm learning now is, hey, what is the obvious move here was the correct move. Like I should be a little bit more fluid with that opportunity next time. That's all. And it takes a bit of time and it takes a bit of time for you to get used to it. But once you do, then you have another piece to add to your arsenal in terms of trading. You don't have to force yourself to change your bias. You can just let the trade run, or let the move happen without you being part of it. Or you can try and work on that aspect of your trading to say, hey, if my bias does not work, am I comfortable taking the opposite side? Because now you're obviously, if we're not going up, we're going down, right? So you just have to make those decisions. Those aren't something that someone can teach you. You have to be comfortable with that.
Yep.
And gold just ripped right back down in 5 minutes.
Ooh, no continuation on GJ either. This is the time where we really call it a day and start to enjoy our weekends. All right. See you Monday.
See you Monday.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Okay, Major. Take care.
Take it easy.
Be safe.